Carson's like, gotta go get the whiskey.
3, 2, 1, immediately leaves. Well, hello everyone. It's been a hot minute. I'll go ahead and It's been 2 weeks.
5 seconds since you looked at me.
My name is Logan, or NeverSayDice on the internet. I stream D&D, I write D&D, I edit D&D, I play D&D, I D&D.
I am D&D.
And other tabletop RPGs. Man, a lot has happened in the past 2 weeks. I'm not really going to do too many announcements this time, just because I still don't know what's happening in life, and what I'll be able to do over the next couple weeks. But the two things I can say is I have a new adventure out right now, based on Sharn Knights, in the incredibly wordy series Sharn Knights Detective Serials. It is the first of hope to be many installments of just these nice, fun, detective-esque adventures in the city of Sharn, just like our campaign that just wrapped up. This first one that just came out is based on the Sherlock Holmes story, A Scandal in Bohemia. Super fun, but of course it's been D&D and Sharnified, so there's all sorts of wacky twists and turns. But of course, all sorts of detective things at its heart. So that's on DM's Guild right now, and patrons get it for very cheap. So go check that out. I have a couple more fun ads coming out this week. That'll be very fun. And other not D&D related announcement, I got a job.
A job.
I am now a freelance writer for HowStuffWorks.com, which is very cool. They're sort of the branch of Discovery, who they write all the stuff that's like how this thing works and how that thing works, and it's very fun and cool.
Oh, you tell me talking about how stuff works, I guess. That's cool.
Yes, how stuff works, exactly. You get it.
Magnets.
But that's very
How does
fun.
that
Just
work?
signed the contract over the weekend, so I'll be writing some more articles for that. Very excited, very fun. But again, of course, that'll kind of influence what happens over the next couple weeks, and then of course getting married and things like that. So we'll see what happens. Get married. What'd you say, Alan?
Just D&D things.
Yeah.
Just D&D things. You're getting back. Ian, we forgot to tell you. We just got back from a wedding party weekend. So if I'm a little tired, that's why. It was a long weekend, but it was a very fun weekend.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Got to go be up in mountains with no cell service for 3 days. It was the
And no
best.
curtains.
And no curtains.
What a nightmare.
Oh man, but lots of fun. Yes, Ian, we. But yeah, so besides that, that's really all I got to say about that. Yeah, my mom stayed in the boys' house because she's the best person, and we said a lot of horrible things in front of my mother.
Again, we is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Ian said a
Carson,
lot.
don't try to. I was gonna say, don't try to evade guilt. I know you strongly.
Oh
feel
no,
fucked up
mea
shit.
culpa. But
Carson was more like a piece of furniture for about 60% of the weekend.
That
I
makes
would
sense.
say 60% of the weekend, maybe 60% of a particular evening. But,
For no reason.
Yeah.
that was a very
'Cause-
nice piece of furniture.
Yeah, because you were just so calm and collected because you're on vacation.
Exactly.
That's it.
What can you
Living on
say?
an
The
island.
vibes were immaculate, so Carson was he was just being the vibe.
Just being,
Yeah.
just vibing. But
No
anyway,
help necessary.
we're just here to play some D&D. So this session's
we?
going to be a little more role play, a little more laid back, because last session people leveled up. So even though it's going to be a little more laid back, we should probably still roll the intro because we got to. But then we'll get started. Probably not with the role-playing warm-up, because that's going to be a lot of what the session is, but we'll just jump into it.
like the whole time, like for like the past week, I've been thinking the phrase "Welcome to the Far North" in my head, and I'm like, where did I get that from? And then it hit me like 2 days ago. I was like, fuck, that's the intro.
Welcome to the Far North.
I think it's also the intro chapter is called. Welcome to the Far North. I tried to take as much stuff from the actual book because it's all sweet. It's all very cool. Sweet. So last time, the party took down Louis' soon-to-be love interest, a hag that pawned herself off to be the White Lady of Loch Dinishir. She's dead now, and her head hangs from Casimir's bag, or he tossed it into the lake, or he tossed the body into the lake.
That was a harpy head.
That's right.
I believe Norm was the one doing extracurricular activities with the hag's body.
That doesn't sound right.
That is the worst way to put that.
I was contributing.
You were doing something.
Excuse me.
Wow. But they collected the hag's magical cauldron that she cooks stew in. Turns out that it makes perfectly nutritious stew just from some water. So they escaped with the cauldron, outrunning a giant skeleton, returned back, arguing the whole way to East Haven, where they kept it a secret and just offered to feed the town for sort of this massive soup kitchen-esque event the following day. So basically for the rest of the day, you tended to your wounds, tended to your equipment, made stew, put it in little Tupperware containers, stowed it away as best you could in the inn's extra fridge, and of course reached level 3. Now, we're not going to have time to give everyone their own individual scenes, because then we'd be here all night and then do the soup kitchen thing next week. So what we're going to do is tackle just a few of you for this week, and then as we proceed, pepper in other people's, like, kind of in a less immediate fashion, a little more natural fashion a little bit later on as it comes up, because a few of you have some unique things in store. So that first evening, you eat your own meals, you tend to your own things, and return back to the White Lady Inn, where Ronaldo invites you all to come participate in a seance once again to speak to the White Lady in case you have any more questions. Does anyone want to take him up on the offer, or are you content with the White Lady that you just killed?
I wanna, yeah.
I'll humor him.
This could be a Scooby-Doo situation where she was taking advantage of the local legend.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I'll take him up on it. Like, whatever. Win in Rome.
Is there anyone who
in the Dale,
doesn't?
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm fine. I've already killed the White Lady myself. I don't need to see her again.
Gil kind of wants to see what happens now. Like if anything changes.
I think Casimir has a similar mindset to Gil on that one.
I just realized that my dice are still downstairs from going to Travis's last weekend, so I'll be right back.
Oh, what'd you do at Travis's?
Don't
Stuff.
worry about it.
Things.
You boys go enjoy. You boys enjoy the little show. I'm going to just grab a seltzer. I'll be on.
Okay.
Are you sure, honey?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey, Gil.
Yeah.
What's a seltzer?
That is a great question. I do not know.
Okay.
It's sparkling water.
something-
I think they just kind of fizzle it a little bit. I mean,
It's got
honestly,
silk.
That sounds very fancy.
it is fancy.
Silk. Okay, I've drank quite a bit of sparkling
Sounds
water
like
in my
fancy
time.
southerner things that we don't have here normally.
Yeah, no, he very much does not let me drink his water.
Does Win walk up and order like a White Claw, or is he like, can I get a La Croix, please?
Yes.
Yes. Heard.
He orders both?
Why not? Winning Frozen Terror.
Oh,
Might as well.
jeez. So yes, when you sit it out, the rest of you go see if you can call upon a ghost once more. A lot of the same stuff happens. You sit in this smoke incense filled room, sit on some seat cushions, Ronaldo lights some candles and begins doing his chant calling upon the White Lady. And if I can get all of you who are going to be participating in the seance to make a persuasion check for me.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Persuasion?
Surprisingly, not one of my better skill checks.
Really?
Unsurprisingly, a 22.
11.
Hold on. Gotta get a singular die out real quick.
Just roll them all. It'll be fine.
I finally rolled above a 10. And
16. Austin?
Dirty 20,
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, wow.
Kill up very quick in the sword.
A 19 plus 4, I think. So 23.
A similar cold feeling sets over the entire room. The windows at the far side completely frost over. Ronaldo's eyes turn white. A bit of frost in his breath comes out of his mouth. And basically it's the same thing. He says, she's near. You can ask her whatever questions your heart desires. You can ask her up to 3 questions. And his now iris pupilless eyes kind of looking toward Louis. And then he says that you can ask whenever you're ready.
God damn it.
Ventus spills a drink on his lap.
You know what?
No, I just knocked my dice tray off the table.
You are a spirit. How did you come to die?
The word drown is drawn into the frost of the glass.
Unfortunate. I am sorry.
Someone can have the last question. I'll ask. Do you know of a particular place we should head next to help the people of this land?
So I better know your intentions. When you say land, do you specifically mean East Haven or just all of 10 towns in Icewind Dale?
I mean like all of Icewind Dale, not just
land,
East Haven.
not-
Icewind Dale as a whole.
The frost breath that is coming out of Ronaldo's mouth is immediately sucked back in, and he begins to speak in almost this multi-tone voice and says, there is a castle outside near in Caer Dineval. A cult, a devil-worshipping cult has taken up residence there. They mean evil. They mean to harm. And then eventually the frost comes back out of his mouth and he kind of releases whatever possession he just had.
Good to know.
And the final question. Norm waves.
Norm, is this gonna be useful for our investigation? I'm asking this out of the kindness of my heart.
Well, what?
Am I supposed to take that as a no? I don't know. How would you ask me your question before you ask them your question? Because
What? Okay.
What is your question?
How can I help you?
Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, you can help me by going on a date with me, but
Good question. Good question. Good question. Is it on the board?
Ding, man.
Yeah, but for the ghost, I don't know. You can ask a question, yeah, for sure.
How can I help you? Question mark.
A few moments pass, and after one of those windows that broke last time has been boarded up, another one explodes with ice and glass falling inward. And Ronaldo lets out a deep gasp, and then he looks up at you, Norm, and just says, "She doesn't know."
See, maybe your question wasn't so good. I should have. Maybe we should have filtered a little bit more. I don't.
I take
Seemed
out
like a
a
reasonable
card
question.
and hand it to Ronaldo and say, well, if she ever needs me, she can reach me. It just says my name on it, because phone numbers don't exist here.
It says, maybe, while you're in East Haven, I can teach you the seance. Maybe you can learn to channel her, see how far you can call upon her spirit across Icewind Dale.
That seems pretty reasonable. That sounds pretty cool.
Okay. I thought she was just in the lake.
Oh, well, she is, but, of course, we are on the edge of the lake, but I've never really attempted the seance far from the lake, but who knows? Maybe she can travel. I don't know. Maybe she's bound to the lake. Besides drowning, I've never been able to fully ascertain much about her death and current state, and, anything like that.
Yeah, what could go wrong? Let's test her coverage.
All right, well, listen. And he starts to explain a little bit of the ins and outs of the seance and how sometimes she does appear as a ghost and hurts people and things like that. That hasn't happened in a long time, but, if people come in with bad intent...
Feels like a real thing to
Yeah, that's
philosophy.
so small. Real
Yeah,
small.
sometimes she shows up, throws a chair, kills a pedestrian.
Basically,
whatever.
yeah. While
Life's
that...
pretty cheap up here.
It is.
Seems like.
You guys return to your evening meals, tending to your things, and learning some new skills. And first up, Louis.
Oh no.
Okay, fine. We'll jump over. No, I'm just kidding. Louis.
Yeah.
As you return upstairs at the White Lady into your room and begin to clean yourself off, you had a pretty close brush with death. So of course you got to tend to some of your things, repair some stuff, stitch up some wounds. And as you unlock your door and step into your very meager room at this inn, you hear a voice say, "Wait, Louis, is that you?"
It is. Who do I have
And
the pleasure?
you see maybe a doll, like a Labrador Retriever sized dragon-looking creature with kind of withered gray but light silvery blue moth-type wings, sort of these blue, almost purplish scales, a long kind of jowly face, deep eyes, and a little bit of gray like whiskers coming off of his snout. Well, yeah, Louis, you look a bit different last time I saw you. Do you remember me?
I don't remember much of nothing, so no, I don't remember you.
This dragon kind of flits up and lands on your bed. Well, my granddaughter, Lemon Drop, said she saw you on the Fey Express a couple days ago. She told me where you were, and I'm glad I found you. Shit, you don't remember me. That's true. My name is Blueberry Wink. I'm an agent, a servant of the Summer Court. I knew you a long time ago.
Okay. So let me get this straight. If I flip through my notes real quick, I think I had something with somebody from the Winter Court. Is that incorrect?
You met Zeg.
Yeah,
Sir.
Zeg. Yeah. So
It's
I
like
don't remember much about
your
no
notes.
winter versus summer. Yeah, my notes. Yeah.
You mind if I give them a read?
Sure. And they're like very scribbled, like, kind of like a person looks like this. Say they know me. person looks like this, saying they know me. This is like repeated a billion times.
And you see
basically.
he kind of flicks through, taking his little claw and turning each page, mumbling, sighing to himself. Okay, well, I don't have too much time, but I am here to explain everything. I had to convince them to let me come here. Okay, would you rather ask me questions and I give you
No,
answers?
you can just tell me. I wouldn't even remotely know what to ask you, to be honest.
Is your memory particularly bad these days?
Yeah, I would say so. Considering I don't remember you, or I don't remember much about Lemon Drop, to be honest, either. So
Yeah, okay.
it don't last much than a couple of days unless I write down people's names and what they look like, and even have these like an alternate, and you'll even see like little doodles of people's faces on there as well, of like what they look like.
Oh god. He kind of sighs and tells you to go ahead and take a seat. He says, "Well, we met long time ago.
How long ago exactly is a long time ago? Because I keep on hearing that my memory sucks, and then they don't tell me how long ago my memory was not sucky.
Well, time works a little bit differently. Where I'm from, the Feywild.
Okay,
It's hard to say exactly.
so y'all
for
got
you.
like a calendar or nothing? Like y'all don't track the sun or nothing?
It's not like that. It's more like traveling between planes. It's not, it's not a one-to-one. Not
Okay.
even.
Okay,
But,
good to know.
it's been for me maybe 100 years.
Okay. I love to hear that. So possibly 100 years, more or less, somewhere around that range.
Maybe.
Is there like a plus and minus kind of range kind of thing I can figure
Maybe plus or minus 20, 30 years.
out? Okay, well that's less helpful. I mean that's more helpful, but less hopeful.
Oh, well, he uses like his back claws to scratch underneath his chin. You see his little jowls kind of jangle back and forth. So, originally, and from what Zeg told us, you vaguely... It's like your memories turned into puzzle pieces, and then some puzzle pieces have gone missing, and so you only have little gaps in them, and you filled them with your own other kinds of memories and from different puzzles. You were a dark elf. You were from the Underdark.
Yeah,
Mezzo,
I do know
okay, you
that.
do remember. Okay, well,
I don't remember it, but I do know that.
you
for a
do
fact.
know that. Yes, that's true. That is a true. That's when I met you. Yeah, more or less.
Okay. Did I have horns back then, or did I? Not
No, that's my doing.
Oh, that's your door.
Yes. So you there was a fellow named Dritzt. Do you remember him?
I remember having an encounter with him of some sort. Yes.
Yeah. Well, apparently, you liked him a lot.
All right. Cool.
And when you started to try to track him down and ask more about him and found out kind of his whole deal, the kind of royalty and Mental Brandon, the lawmakers and law enforcement didn't take too kindly to that, and so they nearly killed you.
Cool. Yeah.
And of course, as these things happen, you manage to escape, barely with the threat of your life, and I just happened to be in the Underdark at the time, having this sort of ambassador feast with, do you remember the Mushroom Lord, Gustak the Great?
That, my good sir, is a great name, but I could not tell you whether or not you're bullshitting me or not, but that sounds cool.
He was sort of from the Fae. He had a crossing in his domain in the Underdark. It's a whole ordeal, but you wandered in there. That's all that matters. And I felt bad for you. There was some kind of poison working its magic on your system that I couldn't figure out, and the mushrooms couldn't figure out. You were dying. And I could do something to help you. Was sort of a... I asked Queen Titania of the Summer Court to help me help you, but we had to make a deal. You help us, we help you. That's the
Okay.
gist of it. And here you are, you alive today. The caveat being that you help the Summer Court, help Queen Titania, be a servant for us Fae. Mostly because we had thoughts, we had these bits of information, these speculations that the Winter Court, they were trying to take over Icewind Dale.
I mean, it seemed pretty cold here.
It's cold, it's dark, and it's full of evil as far as I can tell.
I would certainly agree with that.
And essentially, you became a servant for the Summer Court to track down these bad Fae, track down the Winter Court, track down anyone that's trying to welcome the Winter Court into Icewind Dale. And then Auril the Frostmaiden started her everlasting rhyme. We're not sure if that's Fae work, if that's something else. And then we've heard all sorts of tales of creatures in the mountains working up some evil magic, creatures in all across 10 towns working up evil magic, things in the north. It's everywhere, and we needed people to track down these things. And
Okay.
that was sort of the deal. And now you can... Basically, what we did is we bounded part of your soul to the Feywild, so whenever you die, it sort of pulls on Feywild magic and replaces that part.
Cool. Is it unlimited?
Yes, under certain circumstances.
Oh, I like that.
Which is what
Oh,
I
wait,
wanted.
what are the
Which is what I wanted to inform you about, because from what Zeg said, you had no idea how any of it worked, and I didn't want you to die unknowingly.
Yeah, you didn't like leave a postcard in my body or nothing. I just kind of.
Well, if you don't remember, we worked together for a time, and then once you died, some other time we lost track of you. When you died, we lost track, and then you until you died again, then we found you. Once you died and we lost track of you, I lost my job.
You lost your job.
I lost my job, and once we found out that you were still alive and you were still more or less capable, you look pretty capable. You're looking good, by the way.
Thank you.
The magic's really
appreciate
working
that.
for you, yeah.
I mean, I do wish to be a dark elf again someday. I mean, this whole dwarf thing's a little weird. I gotta be honest.
It is. It suits you, but once we lost track of you, I lost my job. Then once we found you again, I had to beg to come inform you of what was going to happen, and because otherwise they probably would have just let you go. Which,
All right. So, 2 questions. How did you lose your job? Did you just, did they downsize? Did they outsource?
I was sort of your handler of sorts. I'm called the Wandering Mantle. I'm sort of the overseer to make sure whatever wanderers we send out into the world do their jobs. And
That sounds like an important job. I don't know why you would fire somebody for that.
Well, it's because I lost you. That's that's like the one part of the job, and
I guess losing me was kind of. I mean, I didn't know you lost me, so I don't know if it matters that much to me.
Don't tell her I said this, but I think it's also a little bit of Queen Titania's fault, because we don't fully understand how this curse works. It's not a curse. It's not a curse. It's a gift. It's a gift.
You're really stringing me along. I'm really confused now. I gotta be honest. This whole is it a curse? Is it a good thing? I'm really back and forth. Did you give it to me, or was it given to me, or is it like hey, here you go, you're cursed, haha.
It was given to you, it was traded to you. Agreed to help us. You can effectively live forever under certain conditions.
I mean, I like that too. Yeah, that's cool. That sounds good. I don't know what
that
this,
still sounds. Wait, so you're still willing to help the Summer Court?
I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, I ain't got that much. Unless you want to buy something out of Hack, I ain't got much else going on. To be honest, I'm traveling with some people. I'm sure you knew that, but.
Yeah, and I've heard of some of your deeds, and we'll get to. So,
dirty deeds done dirt cheap, like just
that's
things.
that's the Feywild motto.
Yes,
you still remember that? That's good.
I made it. I guess I brought that out. That's good. Memories come back.
He says, well, so here's kind of how this works. we've lost some leads on prominent Winter Court Fae in Icewind Dale. It's hard to find Fae, period. I should know. They're always hidden and mixing with society. But if you find anything significant about any kind of Fae, cults, Fae leaders, powerful Fae creatures, you just have to pursue those and figure out what's behind it. Is it the Winter Court's doing? Are they about to, take over Icewind Dale? Anything of that. But then also there are some notable Fae that have escaped the Feywild from the Winter Court that have bounties on their heads. And one of those you actually just took care of, Maud Chiselbone.
I'm sorry, who was that?
She was some kind of water hag that was once a member of the Winter Court, escaped
Oh.
Icewind Dale, tried to hang with Arl apparently, and was denied because she was horrible.
I mean, she seemed kind of mean and then nice and then mean and then nice. I was real confused about the situation, to be honest. But I'm glad we took care of her. That's cool. I did my job. Does that mean that I don't? What does it mean to get terminated for me? By the way, like you said that they would terminate me.
Oh, well first, since you took care of Maud Chiselbone, you get rewarded for such a thing. And he pulls out a basically this giant blue leaf that's been folded up over something and tied off. And he says, this is a special magical dust in it. Turns you and everything around you invisible. And for Travis's sake, it is a dust of disappearance.
This is real cool. I got to be honest.
If every Fae from the Winter Court that you were able to bring down, you're rewarded for. That's sort of what we found you for.
Okay. Well, that's super cool. This is really, really cool.
And now that you're in a good mood, this reincarnation gift, whenever you pass from this world, part of your being is replaced and you call upon a new form from the Feywild, and you become someone new.
Okay. All right.
Now, there is a risk with that. Because you're pulling in on all these new forms from the Feywild and replacing parts of yourself, there is a chance your memory starts to go. That much we have found out.
I ain't got much of it. That's fine.
It'll get worse, likely, if that keeps happening.
Okay. That's why I have this notebook.
It's good. Keep doing that. The main qualifier for that is as long as you don't die twice before giving your body a chance to rest and recover from dying once, then it's permanent.
Okay. And how long is this rest exactly?
If you die twice before taking a long rest, you die forever.
Uh-huh. Well, that's cool.
And being terminated, if the Summer Court deems that you have failed on your half of the deal that we made so many years ago, then they will end this gift of reincarnation on you. Now, the reason why, we don't know what that means entirely. That could either mean that you die on the spot and all of those deaths catch up with you. It could be that you miraculously become all of the yous you've ever been at once, and I don't know what that means either.
That sounds like I could just die. I don't...
Maybe, or multiple personalities living in the same body.
That sounds kind of cool.
Okay, but...
Or not, actually.
Problem is
not.
we don't fully know what that means yet. It's mostly different from every person, every deal, so just keep that in mind. You said you wanted to help us out, so we really appreciate that, but...
I mean, I ain't got a lot of choice, do I? Like, if I say no, what are you gonna do, right? Like, what is the downside? What downside to me saying like I ain't want to help you?
We just find out what losing that gift means.
I'm cool. All right. So about this
Okay.
thing, do you have like a poster? Do you like one of the posters you can give me?
It says I didn't bring any with me. We only knew you took care of Maud because I saw you carry the body in. And she and I were in school together.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. If it's any consolation, she made some soup for us, and We have.
Was it made of people? She did that a lot.
It was. It was
Every
made
day
of
for lunch in her little thermos, little fingers in it. It was weird.
Yeah, I wanted to try it, but nobody would let me.
Okay, it wasn't that bad. I did try it once. She
Oh.
offered. It was okay.
It was okay. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to, if nothing else, I bring out like a little wine flask, from my pocket and swig, and I'll say, to Maud, or not to Maud. What is her name again?
Yeah, Maud.
Yeah, to Maud.
And he laps it up a little bit and says, "So you're cool? This is all fine. The deal still holds."
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, like, yeah. Why not? I suppose. I ain't got much choice. Seems fine.
I can I can
forget
go
about
find
this
out
tomorrow.
some other missing Fae to keep an eye out for, but
Okay. Yeah. If you send me,
I'll send you an email.
if you send me something, I don't know how this works. Put it on a leaf.
we
got a leaf?
we have people.
Okay.
Fae
cool.
creatures.
All right. Well, I would love to explore this whole Fey world thing. That'd be really cool. At some point, also, more things is always great. Also, not doing so hot in the combat thing. So, if I die, don't be surprised. I suppose.
Well, there's a safety net for that, I guess.
Yeah, there is. Well, anyway,
if you keep holding up your end of the deal, gifts will keep coming. So it's just a matter of.
well, just seeing you has been a gift enough, I have to say.
His little like blue, purple, silverish cheeks get this nice little pinkish tint to them. Well, thank you. You're being real kind to an old man that just barged into your room and threw all this at you.
Well, it's not the first time. Let's be honest. I really appreciate this. I think I would like to give you a gift as well.
Oh, okay. You don't have to do that, but what?
Well, and I'll kind of just lean back and take another swig and then pass him the wine flask and just say, let's reminisce together.
Travis, are you gonna try and fuck this fairy dragon?
I am, yes. I am gonna try to fuck this fairy dragon.
It's not even a question.
By the
was
end of a
never
couple
in doubt.
swigs and telling a couple of stories, you do learn a little bit of your sort of life in sort of the missing gaps and how you're effectively like a bounty hunter across Icewind Dale of trying to track down evil Fey creatures, because that's essentially what your job has been. And he tells some stories about different Fey creatures that you've found and caught across Icewind Dale, and how some of them were just blending into normal society in whatever weird ways they could concoct. But then finally, by the time you make your moves, he does turn you down because he is a 100-plus-year-old fairy dragon.
And I'm a 100-plus-year-old dark elf dwarf thing.
He has grandchildren. He can't, no. And plus, it's expressly prohibited by the summer court bylaws. And he's already been fired once, and
That's true. He's not on the job now, is he? I don't know. He's drinking on the job, isn't that also? I guess.
Oh
it's
no,
not a
Faye
problem
don't care
for
about that.
Yeah, Faye don't care about that. Faye don't care about doing nothing else either. I'm sure. It's fine. I no is no.
No is no. But he says that he'll be in contact either through him visiting, sending someone to come find you, or whatever it might be.
And I'll just say, look, I understand if anything ever happens, just let me know. I'm sure we can enjoy an evening together, or longer, if that's the way, if you want, or morning. I don't know if you're like a morning wood kind of person.
And superior invisibility slips out from your bedroom door. Here's little wings flapping down the
man.
hall.
Man, apparently I forgot how to flirt too. I gotta work on that. I'll just lay down and fall asleep.
Oh man, awesome! Thank you, Travis. Travis, do you have any inspiration?
I do not know.
Take some.
All right. I'll get something, I guess.
Okay, next up, Casimir. So, evening comes around and you've done all these things. You've done the seance, you've eaten dinner, you've tended to your weaponry, your armor and clothes, and eventually, time for bed. As you head to sleep, eventually, you feel yourself that you're awake. And eventually when you flick your eyes open, you're no longer in the nice, warm bed of the White Lady Inn. Instead, you are in a very familiar place. Woods, snow, and night. With your eyes adjusted, you see that the aura is not in the sky, meaning that it is nighttime hours, and the only light you have is the moonlight reflecting off the white snow beneath you. And when you look down at the snow, you see that you're following footprints. Humanoid-shaped footprints. 2 sets. And you know that you've been following them for several hours. And you have to catch up to them. After a little bit of time following them deeper and deeper into these woods, you reach a clearing, a very dense clearing, meant to protect people from wind and basically any of the dangers of the forest. But you know this clearing, and not many things can hide from you in these woods. And eventually, as you start to approach this wooded clearing, first you see the orange light of a campfire. Next, you see 2 humanoid silhouettes huddled by the fire, trying to protect it from wind to keep it from going out. And surrounding the clearing, you see stakes, wooden stakes, shoved into the snow, upon which are severed, bloody Yeti heads, positioned around the clearing, meant to ward off any others to approach the camp. And as you start to creep up to the clearing, you see that there's one empty stake, and you know it deep down that stake was yours. And as you look upon these 2 people in the clearing, covered in these thick white pelts, armor, weapons at their sides, you see that the armor or the pelts that wrap around them, snow white, ending in claws that wrap around them, the pelts of Yetis. And as they huddle by this fire for warmth, trying to protect it from the wind, it's not often that Arl the Frostmaiden provides gifts for anybody. But this time she does. And that wind that you've been kind of walking through as you move through this forest turns into this massive gale, almost deafening. Nearly knocks these poachers off of their feet. They have to regain their footing. But then that big campfire they worked so hard to get set up is knocked out. The clearing is put into darkness besides the bit of moonlight reflecting off the snow. And they are completely blind, standing in the middle of this clearing. Casimir, what do you do?
I narrow my one good eye, kind of this intense blue, and just a mix of deep sadness and rage. And in silence, I stalk towards them.
And you move forward And as you get closer and closer and closer, with the howling winds and the darkness around you, they have no idea you're there.
Cool. What I want to do. I'm gonna use my skills as a survivalist and a tracker. Just kind of like toss a little something, maybe like use my great reach to like break a twig out, really set them on edge.
Mm-hmm. And it snaps, and it's loud enough, and it's almost as if it's destined to be this way. As you reach over and go to snap it, the wind dies ever so slightly, quiet enough to hear that snap of a twig, and then picks back up. And then these two poachers start yelling and say, "Did you hear that? What was that? Is someone there?"
Cool. Does one appear to be like a leader?
It's hard to tell as they're moving with all the pelts and layers they pulled over them, but you recognize that voice.
Okay, I will move quickly in a circular motion, giving them no idea of where I am, just making small little noises, putting them more and more on edge, and as they're freaking out, I'm going to fucking with my my bill hook, I'm just gonna take the smaller one, or I guess the one that didn't talk, hook them, and just pull them away, and from like 15 feet away, just and then dispatch them quickly.
And just with frightening ease and silence, bit of snow flurry left in his wake, slicing sound that cuts through some of the wind. That same voice yells back out and say, "Hey, where'd you go? You can't leave me out here!" And starts picking up his weapons and trying to look around and brace himself.
Cool. I'm just gonna start same maneuver, just picking away at him. Fucking like whatever the weapon arm is, sever the tendons. And pick up another weapon, same thing. Fucking cut back of the knee, until it's fucking like lying, unable to move, I guess, on his knees in the snow. And at that point, I'm just gonna come up, making sure I'm heard. I'm gonna come up fucking towering over this individual. I'm gonna pick him up and bring him to my eye level.
And at this point, a lot of those layers have kind of fallen away, just from moving around so much. And eventually, you recognize this man as leader of the White Pelts. You recognize that voice, that very cold look in his eyes. And he just gets this kind of grin. Spits a little bit of blood. Says, "What are you gonna do?"
What am I gonna do? I'm going to take from you what you took from me. Make sure none are ever scared of you again.
And I bring him closer and I say, Who's the prey now? And I rip out his throat.
And with that ripping, wrenching sound, Casimir, you wake up. And I guess I'll leave this up to Carson. Does Casimir wake up with a jolt? Like a shock of that just happened? Or a very calm, slow eyes open? With that as being the last memory, last dream memory he had.
I think it's a jolt as he comes to you, just like and just kind of is this similar to dreams I've had before?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I just fucking I sit up, I shiver a little and pull the blankets close to me and just kind of touch the scars where harpoons, spears, hooks once found their purchase. And just kind of oscillate in this quiet moment between just a deep hatred and desire for revenge, and just a sadness at realization that, one, it will probably never happen, and two, if it ever does, it won't undo.
Eventually laying back down. This time, though, we sort of move out into the hallway that connects all of your rooms on the second floor of the White Lady Inn. Now, most people don't want to go outside at night. It is far too cold, so there's not a whole lot of travelers that move in and out of the inn at night. But there's someone in the inn tonight. Someone moving light of foot, very softly, shares a word with the innkeeper, moves upstairs, creeping outside of everyone's room so as not to creak a floorboard or make any kind of sound. With the click of a lockpick, slight creak of hinges on the door, light footsteps treading across the room. Ventus, if you will make a Constitution saving throw for me.
That is a 19.
With a 19, you take 64 points of piercing and poison damage as a hooked blade sinks up and underneath into your ribs, waking you from your sleep and instantly killing you, being the last words you hear. Thank you for abandoning your city, Prince. Lord Neverember will take good care of it for you. Mayor will have mercy on you. And then the blade. And that's where we'll take a little quick break. Get refills. And use the bathroom.
It's a dream within a dream within a dream. Let's go.
Oh,
Well, fuck.
Well, fuck. So we will take a little break to get refills and Toilet Cat and be right back to see how the party handles this. Who cares what Jacob thinks? Let's just get to it. Oh, I should remove Ventus's badge. Let me hide it for a second.
Good.
Yeah.
So
Time to go pay the artist for my new character.
You can even pick out the artist this time.
No. No, that's the thing. I'm gonna get a different art. I'll
so it's entirely different.
Jacob's gonna get like a little chibi.
Yeah.
Oh no. So Casimir, Win, actually, everyone in your own respects. Those of you with hunting instincts, those of you with just a simply high passive perception, you hear a very audible gasp come from one of y'all's rooms. And when you wake, it's about daytime. The aurora has set in, so you know that it's sometime past dawn. But you hear a very audible, endangered sounding gasp coming from one of your companions' rooms.
I'll run in there.
Yeah, cool. I'll arm myself and run that way.
Same.
Would it have made a difference if Zeph was in the room?
No. Louis, you are the first on the scene. You run over to the door, and it is locked.
Well, I don't know how to open up a door. I gotta be honest.
I think
but
you have to
I'm gonna-
shillelagh the bones.
I'm gonna shillelagh it. Yeah, that's actually what I was about to say. Was I'm gonna shillelagh the door.
So you all run out to the hallway as Louis is conjured of this magical beaten stick and is just about to crack at the door. Yep. Austin,
Gil was gonna be like, "Let me help with that," and was going to like take his axe. It was gonna take his axe and like hit right where the door lock is, and try to like weaken the area around the lock before we hit it.
Yes, and easily enough, once you do that and bash in the door, you run into Ventus, laying in his bed, hyperventilating and in a cold sweat. And Ventus, you see your party come in, and just their barging into the room sort of grounds you for a second.
Did I see where the person went after they stabbed me?
You look down, and you haven't been stabbed.
Oh my god.
It was just a bad dream. A very real dream, but just a bad dream.
Are you all right?
What happened? Are they still here?
Andy, are you
I need,
okay?
I need a minute. So I'll stand up and I'll go to the window and I'll like open it for a minute and just be like, I'm sorry to have alarmed you all. It was just a dream.
Are you all right?
I just kind of like give myself a pat down real quick.
You're all right, but then when you glance back out the window that you just opened to get some fresh air, it looks like people are looking at you as you just open that door, and you see a couple people like cut their eyes over, like you're being watched, and then they keep walking on their way.
I take note of that and I shut the window. It was just a very intense dream. I'm sorry to have startled you all and caused property damage.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't care about the door. I'm glad that you're happy. You're okay though. It was just a dream. It seems like you're you're sweating up some bullets,
Was it a bad?
some arrows, I guess.
Crossbow bolts.
Yeah, some crossbow bolts. Yeah.
Was it a bad dream?
Yes, I would say so. I had a dream that someone came to kill me in my sleep. The person that took over the city I'm from was an assassin sent by him. But I think just the excitement of yesterday just may have caught up with me.
Logan, can
Alright.
I medicine check my dude to see if there's anything wrong with him?
Even just at a cursory inspection, he looks okay. No obvious wounds. You can go ahead and make a medicine check though.
Yeah. That's a 13.
No obvious wounds. He seems a bit pale, sweating, a little odd. But it does seem sort of just like, symptoms of a panic attack, increased heartbeat, things like that. Nothing abnormal, but to have a bad enough dream to do that, it must have been bad. And at that moment, you hear a voice from behind you. You look around and see Ronaldo leaning against the doorway and say, everything all right in here, guys?
Yes. Sorry to have disturbed you.
Oh, no, I'm just checking. I saw y'all crowding in here on my way down to breakfast.
Who the fuck is Ronaldo?
Everything's
seance,
fine,
dude.
Ronaldo. We appreciate the concern, though.
Yeah.
Of course. If you need anything, just let me know. He lingers for a second, like looking in, just like, more of just like, ooh, what's happening? But then eventually like slips back downstairs.
I'm gonna be the last one to arrive, and I'm just gonna have my silk PJs on, and like I have my little eye mask up, and I'm just like, all right, somebody better be dead.
Damn.
And I turn
You come to a crime scene looking this sexy?
I always look sexy, Louis, but thank you. What's going on?
Sorry to disappoint, but it looks like we're all alright.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to look at Win and kind of just.
Ventus,
Yourself?
Sorry.
You're gonna hold up a mirror.
Always, constantly.
The
Look at-
audacity.
Look at my morning stuff. I'm gonna look at Ventus, and like I guess this is like obvious that he's like sweating bullets and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Prince to Prince. I'm just gonna like walk up to him slowly. Just Prince to Prince. Are you okay?
Yes, I am. I think I'm all right.
All right. Well, don't do that again. And I do need my 8 hours. Other than that, you boys have a good night. I slowly go back to bed.
Even though it's morning.
Yeah, like you still have like an hour, but that extra hour, it's gonna work wonders.
I've only gotten 7 hours and 30 minutes. I need the 8.
Need it.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
How intensive is Wynn's skincare routine?
Buddy. Listen, if you want, I can show you. You're gonna need 2 hours out of your day.
Yeah, that's why he needs to sleep. He's up till 2 a.m. fucking exfoliating.
Oh my god.
I know he used to have people for that. Now he has to do it all himself. It's a whole thing.
Exactly. It's really rough. I don't know how you all take care of your skin withohaving 8 servants do it for you.
I just do it myself, to be honest. But judging by some other people, I don't know if they do take care of the skin. Let's be honest.
And I just make some cursory glances, and I'm like, and then I slowly go back to bed.
What? You get some of the blue moss. If the mites start getting in there, you rub it in. It's all good.
Like I said,
I stand by what I said.
Gross. That's nasty.
I'm a nasty boy.
yeah.
Do I remember what the person in my dream looked like?
What they looked like? No, but you just heard what they said.
All right. I'll make a note of that. It may just have been a random dream, but just in case, I'll be counting on you all to watch my back. If that's not too much to ask.
Of course.
Louis and I broke down the door for you. I think we're watching your back.
I really live for the drama. So also, seeing you alive and beautiful helps every day. You know, that's my skincare routine is seeing you wonderful folk.
That is simultaneously very nice and sweet, and also one of the creepiest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm like you're trying a little too hard. I don't know
Hashtag
what's
just
happening.
Louis things.
Seeing my
Just
friends
Louis
as my
things.
skincare routine.
Oh my god.
But with that, the rest, you tend to the rest of your morning once more, spending some time just getting yourselves together, but then also getting your soup kitchen set up that you have planned. Making all the batches of extra soup, setting up where you're gonna do it, kind of coming up with a sort of MBF style plan of who's gonna be doing what. And then just
God, it's
figuring
gonna
out how
fall
it's
apart.
gonna run.
I'm running hospitality.
Austin, are you doing nose go so you don't have to do anything?
No, I'm holding a finger out.
Oh yeah, what? Go for it.
I was gonna say
You're doing
like,
technology.
Yeah, of course. Like I did for 5 years straight. I was gonna say that in the process of planning all of this, Gil is gonna go downstairs and talk to the innkeep and be like, "Hey, some minor damage to a door. Basically, just like some minor damage to a door. We thought somebody was in trouble. Here is for the trouble, and if the carpenter comes by to fix the door, I have some woodworking experience and I'll help," kind of thing, and gives him like 2 gold pieces.
That's perfect. That was more than enough. And he says, appreciate it. Everyone okay?
Everything is fine. Just a little on edge lately. We've seen quite a few things out here in the past few weeks, and just thought somebody was in danger. They weren't. But regardless, we did what we felt we had to do. But the damage to your inn, I would like to repay it since I had a hand in damaging it.
And the innkeeper, named Bartavan, it's been a while since we've talked to him. He's an old man, and I think at the word I used to describe him to Alan in his session 0 was Bartavan is just gray. He is this like withered old, just generally gray man in both personality and appearance. And you pay him the gold to eventually to repair the door. He's just like, yep, perfect. Thanks. Glad everyone's okay. And he says, I heard you and your companions are putting together a feast of sorts. Everyone's talking about it. Where's that happening? Is that happening here? Are you planning it for here? Are you going to do it outside or at the bar?
Hey guys, where were we gonna do that? Because I'm sure we talked about it already.
Oh, I'm not sure we had a particular location set
I
up.
thought we were just doing like the city square or something. Like
Yeah, somewhere
Walmart.
central. Or maybe we could do somewhere inside.
Yeah,
actually-
Bartaban will kind of chime in and says, I'm sure people wouldn't want to stand in a long line outside.
I mean, we could just do it here, I guess, and then just have like a line at the door, and then people come in, eat, they leave.
If that is okay with you to use your inn for this, that would probably be preferable. Yes.
You're feeding the whole town. I can't really complain too much about that. Are you going to be needing access to my kitchen to cook all the food?
Oh, we've been preparing it
We'll
already.
need some pots to warm up some of the stew we froze.
Well, that can be arranged. Maybe we can borrow some tables and chairs from some other places, and we can arrange that. Other than utensils, I have only
That's true.
forks.
Yeah.
I have chopsticks from my takeout. Is that fine?
Oh yeah.
Oh
All
my
the duck
God.
sauce that they give
And some
you.
ketchup packets.
Yeah.
I have this thing of Arby's sauce. Is that good?
Oh, Arby's horsey sauce.
I do have a bag of about 300 Diablo sauces though.
Dude, who does it?
That,
Yeah,
that
right.
one's for you. That one was for you, Carson.
Oh, I've reformed my collection.
Excellent.
So he'll ask if there's anything else he can do besides, he can help provide dinnerware, seating, all that kind of stuff. Again, provided that you all help him get stuff in place and help clean up and things like that, which I assume that's kind of built into it as well. But is there anything else that you might need from him to put on this event?
Where's Ronaldo?
He, all the way across the other side of the room in his little corner booth, says, "Hey, Norm, what do you need?"
Can you play
Can I play? That's a stupid question. Of course I can play.
today?
No, I only perform tomorrow. Yes, of course I can play today.
Cool.
Any preference? Upbeat? Kind of lower in the
Every-
background? Lots of singing?
Do you play any
Screaming?
music?
I'm familiar with Muzak. Isn't that some Elvish?
Alternative
Are
indie.
you a proficient jizz whaler?
I think Ronaldo looks like he's a big Jizz fan.
Hey, what'd you call
Oh,
it?
this guy's whaled some jizz in his time.
Haven't we all?
Of course.
Wait.
I hate George Lucas.
just that and
That.
George
Boy.
Irving.
And now it's canon that Louis has had sex with whales. Drugs.
He's not. I mean, he's not picky. He's some animal.
Louis gave Max Rebo the time of his life.
Gave Max Rebo the old Rebo reach around.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my god. So, with a day of prep ahead of you, getting tables, you're basically just gonna run a restaurant for the day. Yes.
I
Sorry.
love Diner Dash.
Cooking Mama.
Even better.
That would be super fun, is if we all just played Overcooked for the next half hour to see how it goes.
No,
No.
I hate that game.
It stresses me out, I'm not gonna lie.
It's stressful. It's horrible.
Because I do that every day at work.
Travis, what did you have?
I wanted to, at some point in the next day, approach Ventus.
Mhm.
I'm
You're
busy that
approaching
day.
me. And I wanted to say, I wanted to walk up and say, look, how you doing? How's everything going?
Oh, it was a rough start. It was a rough start to the morning. I'm not going to lie, but I'm all right.
Yeah, it
Just
has
focused
only
on
been...
this soup kitchen thing, you know.
Yeah, I got a question for you. You're married, right?
Well, not yet. It's an engagement. It's not happened yet.
Okay.
A lot of trouble back home. Not really a lot of time to plan a wedding with the coup and all.
Trouble how? I don't remember you talking about no trouble, gotta be honest.
Well, I think that's not necessarily that I didn't say it. It may just be a thing that you forgot.
I did say I don't remember. That was the phrase I used. I didn't specify you not saying nothing.
I just wanted to clarify.
Okay. Well, if you have indeed told me, I'm mostly just asking. Look, since I lost my memory, I have told you I lost my memory, right? Okay. Oh well, I have been having trouble flirting, and you're engaged, and look, I have no trouble picking up people sometimes, but sometimes I gotta be honest, I really... How did you snag a fiance? I'm just...
God damn it.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of a long story. It was first started as an engaged marriage, and I did not see her for many, many years because I did not like the idea of being tied down. Or it's a whole thing. I didn't get to go many places growing up. Very long family dynamic thing there, but when we finally did meet, I realized that she was very wonderful, and I found the best way to uh, make a place in someone else's heart is just being very genuine. I would I would have Zeph take her poetry and other things such as that, like write her a sonnet or maybe other things like that. Perform an occasional song. It's I think
Interesting.
what's most important is being genuine and clear with what you're trying to get across.
Okay. All right. So what I heard good advice there. However, I also heard that you didn't. There was no process in which you actually had to pick up this woman.
Well, I think that what you should glean from this situation is that uh, even though we were forced together by outside forces, we do love each other very much, and that did
Uh-huh.
not happen. That did not happen by any forceful means. I kind of had to make up for the fact that I put off meeting her for 2 years, which made her quite cross, I must say. So
Did she have a chance to say no to you?
she could have said no, yes.
Would your families have opposed?
Maybe, but I'm not in the habit of making people marry me if they absolutely hate me.
Okay. I really like these poetry. I mean, it's very sweet. I think that what you and your fiance are. I mean, what is the? You said there's trouble back home, but also like, um, I mean, it sounds like it's kind of hard for you to get married. Do you have a set plan or anything? I hear venues and that kind of thing are very expensive.
This is a kind of we'll cross that bridge when we get to it type scenario. It was not a lot of time to continue wedding planning when your family is being hunted and people are trying to kill you. I think she understands the fact that there's a hierarchy of needs going on here. So like
Family being hunted. You see him scribbling beside what looks like a drawing. Like you kind of see like a picture of your face kind of drawn into his notebook as he like draws beside it. Family getting.
that's a very good drawing. My hair's a little bit more swoopy than that though.
Okay, all right. And he erases a little bit and
That's
starts
better. Yeah,
drawing
that's better.
ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I mean, all right, cool. So, how did you propose, or was it just?
Well, it was arranged, but I thought that the arrangement wasn't it didn't really show intent the way I wanted it to. So there was I'm about to improv a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
D&D.
I had Zeph deliver a letter for her to meet me in the town square. We met there, and I had made sure that through family connections that the town square was clear, and the town square has lots of bells. And what I did was I used my various wind magics, and I played a song by hitting the bells and rhythm, moving around, doing a choreographed dance as I did such. It was very fancy. Very nervous.
You could. I didn't know you could dance.
It's part of a side effect of nobility, as it were.
Interesting. Well, that's really cool. So what I'm hearing, what I did take away from this is that it sounds like effort is needed more so than just than words.
Yes, I would say that action is the core to any flirtation attempts. So
Okay.
perhaps if you're trying to capture the heart of someone else, you should just show some form of effort to capture their affection.
That's interesting.
And I want to be clear that I am not an expert by any means.
Hmm.
I often wonder how I ended up in such a lucky situation with a wonderful person. Um,
Don't you're giving yourself too little credit. You are very handsome and you seem very talented.
I stop.
Ah, oh no, I won't. I won't stop it, and I'll kind of pass you a drink of some sort.
It's it's 9 o'clock. I'm good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the advice.
Oh well, what the hell is Jimothy Buffet once said? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is
Oh
5 o'clock
my
somewhere.
god.
The famous Eric Coker bard.
Yeah, he's a parrot.
He's a parrot.
Oh my fucking lord. Anyway.
Yeah, and then I will walk away and contemplate.
And after he walks away, I, like in the midst of our preparation for the day, I write down a quick letter, and I'll compose a quick little a poem, and I will give it to Zeph, and I go, "You know where to go. I'll see you in a couple of days. Be careful."
He'll
He'll
kind of
take off.
cock his head, but then take off.
Let me say, what's a pickup line that'll make a lady love me forever?
You know, I've been fucking people for decades, but I want to fuck someone's heart instead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ventus, how do I fuck someone right in their heart?
Travis, A+, man. That was.
stuff.
I love the like someone explaining something and then Lou being like, okay, what I heard, what I took away from that.
During the course of the day, I would like to ask Win something.
Please do.
Cool. So I imagine we're like, heating up the stew, like stirring it. Win is over there, whatever the equivalent of being on his phone is.
I'm being on my. I have like a seashell up, and I'm just like.
Yeah.
It's a flip seashell.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I just kind of casually go,
So you're a holy man, right?
Oh. Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know things about the gods and whatnot.
I know some things. It's more of just like my nanny that raised me. She was extremely religious, and I picked up a few things from her. Why? Do you have a confession that you need to make? Do we need to make this confidential? I won't tell us all.
I'm not sure you have the time, lad. No, it's just someone once told me that dreams were visions of the possible sent by the gods, and because Ventus had that he had that bad dream, and I was just wondering if you I'm worried about. Yeah, I was wondering if you knew that was true about dreams.
No, if that was true about dreams. Well, my nanny would say, the moon works in mysterious ways.
Fucking god.
Sometimes you'll see visions, sometimes you'll grow 10 feet taller, sometimes you'll have your eyes will start to turn into starlight. It's very strange the way that gods work. So I don't think that a bad dream could be out of the question. Did you have a bad dream?
Not exactly.
A good dream.
Not exactly that either. It's just. Well, you sussed that out pretty quickly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, good or bad, and then there's something in between.
I was just wondering if it means something. If you know, I saw somebody I haven't seen in a long time, and I was wondering if it meant that I was gonna see them again
Hang on.
soon.
You seem a little on edge about this. Let me get you a seltzer real quick. Can I get him a seltzer?
Yeah, and like while he said that last sentence without noticing, Casimir has fully like bent a metal spoon, like a ladle, like in his other hand. He just goes, "Oh,
No, here you go. Try this. It's really good. So introducing you slowly to the finer things in life.
Casimir, it's as if someone yelled the word lime in the building next to a glass of water.
I don't imagine Casimir's ever had lime before. So he's just like, oh wow, this is packed full of flavor, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's really good. So you had a dream, and there was a person in your dream, and you're wondering if you're going to see them again. So tell me, do you want to see them again?
See Casimir in, his highest seems to shrink and hurt a little bit. He just goes,
I don't know. I did something bad. I mean, bad people should pay for the things they've done, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's just... thought seeing them again brings up a lot of bad memories. Just say. Yeah, I've had bad dreams over the years of hurting them in the way they hurt me. Would you believe I'm scared?
Honestly, I didn't think that you could get scared. It's just a joke. Everyone gets scared from time to time. I'm scared literally all the time.
I put a big old mitt on Wynn's shoulder.
Just go. Thank you. I suppose we all do get scared. Yeah.
You're welcome.
People don't think monsters get scared.
You're not a monster, Kaz. Can I call you Kaz? I'm calling you Kaz.
Is that a nickname?
Yes. It's your name shortened. Makes it easier to say.
I've never had a nickname before.
Well, now you do, Kaz. And I pat him on his back.
I like it. Thank you.
Wynn turns away very quickly, wipe a tear away.
Well, listen. Whether you see this person again or not, that is something that we can only know in the future. But one thing that you should do is prepare yourself. Be ready for the moment. It's obviously something that's stressing you, and mull it over. And come up with an answer. And let me tell you this. Now I'm not going to go over. I'm not sure how religious you are. I'm not very religious myself. But my nanny, she used to say this little prayer to the moon every now and then when I was a child, and I found a lot of joy and delight out of it. And let me see if I can remember it fully. It's does the moon into the sky guides the person? Wait, no, it's the moon does the watching over us all for safety and power. Silver Lady?
Yeah, and
Something like that. Yeah.
Esmir is just kind of like mouthing along with you as you go. It's just like,
I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice. I'll try that, and I'll think about it. When? Thank you.
Anytime, buddy.
All right. Now, try this and tell me if it needs more pepper.
Could a tad bit more.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, say when. Oh man. Oh, my heart. Oh, so good for the soul. Any other things that need or want to happen before
I do.
food serving? Okay, go for it.
I want to find Gil. And can I talk to you privately for a moment?
Sure, of course. Whatever you need.
Thinking about home has got me thinking about something else. Do you know of any roaming bands of orc bandits in the area?
Oh damn! Now Logan's not here for me to ask.
Rip.
I do think I had somewhere in my notes that there was.
Let me think about it for an indeterminate amount of time.
guys, DM's gone. We can make anything canon we want right now.
Ariel shows up, and
Wait,
she's
how many?
actually just really small and stupid, and we kill her.
Well, hang on. There are 6 of us. We just each have. Now we all have an Infinity Stone. Boom, done.
There we go. Yeah.
Boom. Who gets what?
Red.
Reality. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You get reality.
That one? Okay. Yeah. I'll make.
I want the time stone.
Okay.
I'll take soul.
Excellent.
Every 5 feet.
I know.
Who did you throw off of a cliff?
Don't worry about it.
So Logan, question for you.
Sure.
Do I know of any roving bands of orc bandits? I do have in my notes that I heard a rumor about orc raiders that were fucking up the roads, but other than that,
Any orcish bands?
any roving bands of orcs or the like?
I was trying to think of a band name with orc in it. Panic at the Orc. So no. Fallout Orc.
No orc, no cry.
Oh, that's good.
Bjork.
What's it?
Yeah,
Bjork.
just Bjork.
Bjork. Oh, that slaps. So
That's
much.
it. That's it.
Arctic orcs.
Bjork to be wild. I like just Bjork.
Iron orc.
The
Orc
artist
maiden.
formerly known as Orc.
Adele.
Oh, wow, Travis.
Oh no, that wasn't meant to be rude. I apologize. That's the first one.
You leave Adele alone.
Adele's awesome. I love Adele. I hate her new album, but I love Adele.
Oh, I didn't listen to it.
I haven't listened to it.
Nice.
This wasn't my jam. It had great messages, but I didn't jam with it.
Oh, there it is.
Boys to orcs.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh, there we
Orcs
go.
to men.
Orcs
like
to
it.
men. Oh, that's good.
I was specifically asking about if, like, the people that attacked me and when.
Run ORC.
Oh man.
Orc is love. Orc is life.
Okay, that's
No,
it. So
That's not a man.
So yes, Austin, to answer your question, there are quite a few orc tribes that live in the mountains, but the biggest of them, of course, is the Many Arrows tribe. And a lot of the times, other orc tribes will just sort of unite under the Many Arrows banner.
Do I remember any like iconography from that attack that would have like been like they looked like this?
Probably
That's
most would be
specific?
specifically any kind of images, whether formal or just hand painted, of the god Grumpsh, god of storms and slaughter, specifically
I
for
would
orcs.
articulate that.
Yeah.
I would articulate that to Gil.
And that's sort of generally, despite having different orc tribes and traditions, most of them can unite under Grumpsh as like a common cause.
Most of the orcs tribes around here, the iconography that you saw is common. It's usually religious in nature. They tend to share the same worship of the same god. I know of a few smaller tribes around, but the biggest of them is the Many Arrows. They are definitely the largest and the most powerful. Many of the Orcish tribes will simply integrate into the Many Arrows out of survival. They see it as the best opportunity to gain strength. Sometimes it's out of fear. Sometimes they are forcefully subjugated. But Many Arrows tribe is the biggest one. It's the only one that really is as well known.
The reason I ask is I think that we discussed when we first all came to collaborate that Wynn and I were attacked by some orc bandits, and we left behind a lot of belongings. And one of the things that I ended up having to leave behind in the attack is a ring that I would very much like to get back at some point.
Okay, I can, as we go around, as we meet people, travel towns, I can help ask around and see if anybody has heard tale of where the Many Arrows might be staying, where they might be camped, or any other smaller tribes. You were attacked on the road coming from the south, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
It just it was a keepsake from my mother, and I would like it back very much.
I understand. Familial keepsakes are very important. I sympathize, even if it's a little different. I sympathize with what you're going through. You know, being forced away from your home is not easy. And those little things that help us hold on to that little bit of home is important.
I need the ring for something later, if you understand.
Yes, I think I'm getting where this is going, but no, truth be told, I carry this axe with me, and he kind of pats the axe on his hip. I don't really use it a whole lot. It was actually a gift. It was given to me as a parting gift when I was exiled by my clan. It's a parting gift from my daughter. She is a fine young blacksmith, and I'm very proud of her, but I haven't seen her in a long time. And so I understand if I lost this axe, I would be devastated. It's the last little piece of my daughter that I get to keep around with me since I cannot go home. So I will help you find it, whatever way I can.
Perhaps on this journey, maybe we can, we will get to see her.
Perhaps.
On our travels around.
And perhaps on this journey we will find you your ring, and maybe, just maybe, find a way
that you can go home.
We can hope. I'd rather, after the dream I had, I'd rather return home in one piece and not in a box.
And you're sure you're okay?
As I said, I think that just the excitement of yesterday may have just gotten to me. Hopefully it is not a premonition of anything that is to come, but it is a harsh realization that there may be people besides just random orcs on the road that would threaten my life here out in the Icewind, but I feel better knowing that I have you all looking after me, but I don't think that we should worry too much about it at this time.
If you ever need anything, I am here.
I appreciate
I wish to help in any way that I can, and I am more than happy to listen, offer advice, best I can, anyway. And
I appreciate it. I fear that I have grown too accustomed to being taken care of, and the freedom that I'm experiencing now is truly, honestly, I'm enjoying it, but I need to continue to hone my magical arts to be able to protect myself and other people.
every challenge is a chance to become stronger. Everything. Every mental challenge, every physical challenge. Strengthen your body and your mind. It is worth it. And I am glad that you see this as an opportunity to do so.
Yes. I say it's about time we feed some hungry townspeople.
I believe it is. Hopefully they will be calm and orderly and no
Oh no, they
problem
won't.
to arise.
These people haven't seen this much food in who knows how long.
One can hope, right?
Okay.
It's okay. I've read a book by a man named Guy Fiero about running restaurants.
Casimir and Win
Diner,
Flavor
dragons,
Town right
and
now.
dives.
Dungeons, Dragons, and Dives, baby.
Oh, jeez. And Dale.
Just Dragons and Dale.
Do it for Dale.
So with that, basically, you're running a restaurant for a day, so we're not going to roleplay that to great degrees, but there are some problems that can arise. So first things first, if I can, as a group check, get everyone to make an intelligence investigation check.
Oh no.
As
But
you
That
I'm
thing I'm
bad
good
at
at.
that.
Let's go.
as you prepare food, see how many people are coming in, kind of looking over the logistics of your
You said
day.
investigation. my dude?
Investigation.
I'm here to bring up the average.
I
rolled a
hope
one.
so.
6.
Okay, I'm just gonna start from Travis. What'd you get?
15.
Okay, Xavier, what'd you get?
6.
Nice. Alan, what'd you get?
18.
There you go. Jacob.
21.
Okay, Carson.
Ocho.
Okay, Austin.
10.
Hell
With
yeah,
a
that's
minus
above
one.
average. That's
With a
pretty
minus
good.
one, baby.
So with that, kind of keeping track of how many plates you're serving, how many people are there, and just generally the kind of manpower you need. You're managing to keep up. You, as is the nature of Dungeons and Dragons, you guys are above average. You are not just everyday people, so you're able to kind of keep up with things with a little more speed, a little more accuracy. And those of you who would be sort of doing the serving aspect of it, manning the soup cauldrons, based off of what everyone's saying, you kind of figure out that you're coming in a little bit short as far as servings go. It seems as though word got around very quickly about a free meal being hosted. And so, yes, it is the 750 townsfolk. As a reminder, you have 720 servings. Along with the 750 townsfolk, there are some travelers who have come in and are, staying the little extra few hours just to grab a free meal. So you realize that you're sort of starting to clock in a 50, 60, 70 servings short if you keep going at the pace that you are going. Now keep in mind, your magic cauldron is burnt out. You have your servings and that's it. But if any of you have cooking proficiencies or magic or whatever it might be to produce extra food for all these extra people that have come in, might want to do that.
What kind of
Relying on survival.
So,
All I
yeah, what
have
would be
is
the what would the
good
role be
berry.
to cook?
It depends on what you're cooking. It would either be buying the food from local inns and bars to cook, and then cooking it using some kind of dexterity or intelligence, or basically wisdom if you can justify it in some way. Alternatively, if you don't want to buy the supplies, you can go catch some fish from the lake, but again, that's its own sort of skill challenge in and of itself to do that because the knucklehead trout are so big and strong. Or
Someone go
where
catch
else?
them and I'll cook them.
Yeah.
I'll get the meat.
I'll enhance whatever meal it is with good berry. Maybe I can like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Get a nice good berry reduction.
Some people come in
Yeah.
like they're like, I want food, and you're like, here, have one berry.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, I'm full.
There you
Or
go.
because it restores like 1 HP, they come in with a broken leg and they leave perfectly healthy.
Yep.
Okay, so the plan is to catch fish, bring them in, and cook them.
Yep.
As Alan elbows the shit out of his mic.
And I'll throw whatever like rations of dried meat I probably brought in, if that will augment it in any way, make it
Yeah,
a little more
definitely.
hearty.
I'm trying to remember what chapter the
That's
fishing
vegetarian.
stuff is in.
Get some meat.
Can I also use create or destroy water to just kind of make sure that there's just some sort of drinks and refreshments?
Oh, definitely.
Sweet.
I imagine Wynn could probably create sparkling water with that.
Well, it's all seltzer.
And for every check that people make, or like whenever they're starting to cook or whatever, I'll always be guidancing people as a note to kind of like, oh yeah, I believe in you. You got this.
So,
Same thing with fishing.
how many people are going fishing, and who's gonna do it? Casimir. Norm?
Yeah, depending on how you want to.
Oh wait, I'll go fishing and I'll fish and cook because I bought a fishing rod.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
where I was gonna. That's where that was going.
Nice. Are these fish big enough that like harpoons would come in handy?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Baby.
These
So,
are pretty big.
so if Norm and so Ventus, you've already bought a thing. Alan, if you will give me 4 gold pieces to get a
I
fishing
think I
tackle,
bought
fishing rod. Did you
Two
get enough for?
fishing rods. I think I bought 2 because I was gonna get one for me and one for Win, and I don't think
Oh,
Win
cute.
wanted his.
You wanted to get Win, a Triton, a
This
fishing
was before
rod?
that happened. This is before that happened. This is before that whole thing with the fish on the wall happened. Before the debacle.
The debacle.
The incident.
Yeah.
It's like getting someone a gun. So if you've got an extra fishing rod, here's what this will take. Basically, you make a check for each hour you spend. So if I can get the 3 of you, regardless of whether you're fishing or harpooning, to make a survival check, and this is sort of individualized.
Is this surface level water dwelling fish or deep
Ooh,
water, mid water fish?
I got an 18.
It depends, Alan. Why do you need to know?
I rolled a 19 minus 1.
For the Eldritch Knight thing, there's this thing called a weapon bond.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you
Or,
gonna
like-
throw your hammer into the water and just try to hit a fish?
Hey.
Bonk.
I'll let you know you cannot throw it that hard and that deep. Because once it hits the water, it's gonna slow down and immediately sink.
It's not a gun.
What's the roll?
Survival. So for your information while you're rolling that, a male knucklehead trout usually weighs up to about 70 pounds and females up to about 50 pounds. So they're big for fish. All right, so Jacob, what was your survival?
And I rolled a 19 minus 1, so 18.
Nice. Carson, what'd you get?
17.
Rad. And Alan, what'd you get?
12.
12. So if I can get, first off, here's what we're gonna do. Since Carson is doing some harpooning and he's got that great reach, Jacob, if you'll roll an athletics check, and Carson, if you roll an attack roll with your harpoon.
Okay.
Can I actually, how far away is it now that I've
Net
hooked
20.
Is what?
the fish?
It's on your line trying to pull it down.
But like, where is it? Like, how far away is it from me?
20-ish or so feet.
Cool. I'd like to cast a spell, because I'm gonna try to work smarter, not harder here.
Okay.
And I would like to cast a spell, Vortex Wrap from Strixhaven,
Ooh.
and I would like it to make a con save.
Carson, what'd you get to hit?
Net 20, baby.
Oh, Jesus H. Macy.
A net 20, well spent.
And then a con save of 15.
Shit.
0.
I'm pretty sure that saves. Let me check. I'm sure that's probably like is my save DC at this point.
Can I try an idea for the next hour?
Sure. So Jacob, what happens? Does anything happen?
No, because what that does is I can teleport it to an unoccupied space,
Oh.
and if I fail, then nothing happens.
A bunch of water is splashed on you instead. But I will say with Casimir's nat 20, you get 2.
Hey.
With your super long reach and big enough thrust, you manage as one crosses from the other, 2 in 1 for that first hour. And then if you guys each want to make another survival check for me once more, and Alan, you had an idea.
First question, the weapon
Second net
bond.
20.
Can I weapon bond my shield that I just found out I had?
No.
Different die.
Okay.
Also, can I give them guidance since I said I was giving everybody
Are
guidance?
you going to go out on the boat with them out at the lake, leaving Win and Gil by themselves to run the
No, for
entire
sure not.
restaurant?
Can I like see the fish in the water?
There's something in the water.
Probably, but probably not. Like, you can see that there's movement, but probably not clear enough to
Okay.
do stuff
So,
until they get close
yeah.
enough to the surface to get a bobber or something.
Okay, then 14 this time for me.
14, Arson and nat 20. Alan, what'd you get?
I got a 16. Fuck my plan.
16, fuck my plan. So Carson, if you once again roll an attack roll. Alan, if you will make an athletics check for me.
Athletic.
And I need to roll for the Knucklehead Trout.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Did you get a third nat 20? A turkey?
Ooh.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's sorry.
I'm spending all my luck on the fish. But hey, it's
You're gonna be
defeat-
walking back into the inn with your fish and trip and fall and just someone's
Yeah.
loose
Stab yourself
dagger
in
goes
the
straight
door.
through your eye and you're dead. That's it. Alan, what'd you get?
18.
Sweet, because I got a 4. So that brings in 3 fish, 3 knucklehead trout total for a total of 5. That's definitely going to be enough to cover at least another 50 people because of how big they are.
How many more do we need to feed?
Since you last saw, maybe somewhere between 50 to 70, but assuming everyone eats about a pound or so, you're fine. You've got plenty to cover that.
So
Cool.
yeah, I will cook. I will try to cook when we get back because I got good intelligence.
Definitely. Next up, for the as you get back, you get the restaurant stuff going up again. If I could get everyone to make an insight check for me.
There.
Everybody?
Everybody.
All right, the luck is back to normal.
14.
13.
19.
Okay, nice.
16.
Nice. Awesome.
11.
Nice.
I rolled an 8.
If anyone wants to add guidance to that roll, only one person can, but
Who got the highest?
I did 19. Do I got guidance? What is that? Plus
Yeah,
4?
Well,
got-
just whoever
plus
wants it.
1d4.
Okay.
Yeah.
1d4? Okay.
Yeah, let's slap a d4 on that bad boy.
And Travis, what was your insight roll?
I got a 15. I'm trying to figure out my thing. I think that's just 15. I'm mixing up characters. 15.
It's 21 now.
21 now. You are all perfectly equipped for this. And again, you're basically running a restaurant. At first, it sort of is just a line situation, but then it starts evolving into people want a place to sit and be able to sit down and eat and all this kind of stuff. What do you want me to do? Carry a bowl of stew? And plus, you need the bowls back. And it's a whole ordeal. And so, as people are getting in line, taking their seats or taking their soup and going in whatever jars, who would be the most likely to be the servers? The people running around the most interacting with people? Louis? Anyone else? Not Casimir.
Can I fit?
Oh yeah, you could fit. You could be fine.
Yeah.
I like that I asked that and I saw Xavier go.
I'm gonna cook and I'm gonna cook and air dry some dishes.
Yeah. And so it
Does that say Gilp would probably help because he talks to people?
talks to people, yeah. The three of you, so Gil, Norm, Win, as you are bussing, or not Win, Louis walking around, talking to people, collecting dirty dishes, serving stuff. Something that is, at least for Norm, well, really not even Norm, because Norm lived with yak minotaurs for all of his life. For Gil and Louis, one thing about Icewind Dale that takes some getting used to is people wearing lots of layers and having their faces and everything covered up. Everyone's wearing waterproof coats and scarves and hats. So unless people are either a halfling or a human, most people kind of look the same with all of their layers on. And so it's, as people come and go, it's a lot of just the same people coming in and out, and they just all look the same. But some people take off their coats as they sit down. But for two of you, Gil, Louis, as you are moving about, you start seeing some similar folks coming in who keep their scarves and hats and jackets on. And they say, oh, I'm going to take this to go, and they put it in a jar and leave. And then maybe 20 minutes later, someone eerily similar comes through. And they take their thing to go and leave. And after a couple enough times, you realize that not just them, but multiple people are coming through multiple times.
Scalpers.
And taking food from other folks, taking home extra, whatever it might be. Now, I can leave it up to you however you want to confront that. Or you can just let them take extra helpings.
I'll just say, I'll probably just each time someone I somewhat recognize comes through, I'll just say, hey, I recognize it's hard times, but maybe this one's the last time. There's other people who need some food too.
Make a persuasion check.
Bro, how? 15.
Let's say, did you roll a 2?
I rolled a 5.
You see, you hit that sweet spot of customer service where they were upset, but you made a good point, so there's like, and then just leave. So there was no trouble caused.
Great.
So it's a win.
I love that. Yeah, I'm gonna just do that like customer
Every
service,
single
like
time.
it's just my job. Please don't kill me.
Now,
I'm
so
kind of
for
afraid.
Norm and Gil, when you recognize someone who's come through multiple times, is it sort of like when a part-time worker sees that and they're like, oh, let me get my manager to deal with this? Or do you want to, confront these people and do something about it?
Am I taller?
Always.
I'll pick him up.
And do what? Just pick
I'll
them up.
sniff their breath.
Sniff their breath.
Do I smell the soup?
Yeah, you smell the soup.
I say, you're full.
Make an intimidation check, but add your strength modifier instead of charisma. As you hoist someone up,
That's awesome.
put your yak snout at their mouth and inhale and say, "You're full."
That's
Jesus
awesome.
Christ.
18?
Hell yes.
They
Hell yes.
run out, tripping over chairs, knocking
That's
people around.
terrifying.
That's incredible.
Gil, as you are about to approach your problem customer, you see Nor hoist this person up and say you're full. Oh, God.
I guess that's one way to do it.
So yeah, Gil, you can approach it however way you wish, or you can just see if Louis wants to work his magic.
If I see somebody that I definitely like, yeah, this person's definitely come through multiple times. I'm gonna place my hand just very firmly on their shoulder, just like nice firm, and then a nice little squeeze. I'm just gonna say, listen, and I'm not gonna be quiet about it. I'm going to say it loudly. Listen. This is being provided to everyone here out of generosity. But you must understand that there's enough for everyone, but not if people take more than their part. All this is going to accomplish is causing hard times for other people, which is going to continue to cause hard times for the rest, including you. Everyone must do their part equally in order to be the best that East Haven can be. I know you've been coming through here trying to take more than your share. I know many others have as well. Stop this now. Do the right thing. Because all you are doing is harming those around you, harming your town, and harming any chances of people helping you in the future. Am I clear?
It depends, Austin. Do you want to roll a persuasion or an intimidation check?
Yes.
Then choose whichever.
Technically, I'm gonna go with persuasion because I'm not actually proficient in intimidation. Funny
If I
enough.
see him talking, is it possible for me to kind of like
Yeah,
give
can I
a side
sniff?
eye to the person, kind of give the guidance?
Well,
Can I
guidance
sniff
is
him?
touch.
The
So how do you
guidance
touch
side
Gil
eye.
to give him guidance?
Are we having a problem here, sir?
Yeah, just the Karen.
Are we having a problem?
Yep, so go ahead and roll with some
Are
guidance.
you harassing my worker?
I've done this like a million times, it feels like already, but I am gonna call a little bit on the fact that I, have the folk hero background.
Yes, people
into
know
this, like,
you.
People know who I am. That is a natural 20, baby.
Hell yeah.
With a +4 for persuasion, and you know what? Fuck it, we'll just roll the d4 for guidance. Oh Jesus Christ, I just lost a d4.
You have a plus
Jesus
4 to
Christ.
persuasion? That's awesome.
And I got a +4. That's a 28. Just for
Holy
fun.
crap.
My man.
Oh, Austin. As you lean down and get and talk to this person,
And I said it loud enough for other people.
you said it
to
loud
hear.
enough, and there's like the people around you and at the same table kind of get quiet, but you feel a searing pain for just a moment. And this sort of rush of adrenaline as you sort of start talking to this person. Because you can start seeing that they begin to fold at your words. And that almost just fuels it a little bit. And you feel this searing pain. And where on your body is your mark?
It's on the over,
On your
like, the
chest?
heart, like left chest.
There's a searing pain on your chest. And it almost fuels that adrenaline even more. Your heart begins to beat. And eventually that person just crumbles, folds, and gets up from their seat. And you can just feel this, like, of your heart and blood pumping. And then it's interrupted as that person runs away. And you hear a voice say, "Well, damn, your reputation really is well earned." And you look up at this sort of gray, almost blue-skinned tiefling with horns. Okay, so he's like 5'3". He's super short.
Excellent.
But he has horns bigger than Norm's. They are these absolute massive things branching out from his head. But he's wearing this big, thick, fur-collared captain's coat. And you look up at him and he says, "Captain Scython, owner of the East Haven Ferry. I heard you protected my ship from some intruders. Is that true?"
It wasn't just me. My companions had a hand in it. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was someone else's idea.
But, I mean, regardless, you took care of whatever ruffians or bandits were aboard my ferry, right?
They are gone as far as we are aware now. We sent them running, and I assume they haven't come back.
Well, no criticizing on my part, but I'm noticing there's a lot of water being served. I spend a lot of time at the bar on the other end of town. I could pull a few strings, and if you stronger folks like yourselves want to help me, I could get some kegs over to this little potluck here and make it a nice, good feast. As a repayment for what you've done for me.
To be honest, I think I'm going to ask the others. I appreciate the offer. I'm going to ensure that, because truthfully, I wouldn't want to see too many people get a little too drunk and cause a bit too much of a problem in the town, but I will ask my companions, since we're trying to do this as calmly and as helpfully as possible.
I understand, and if that's not appealing, maybe I can pay you in some other way. I'm not much of a cook myself, but maybe I can. I've traveled around 10 towns quite a bit. I can talk about some of the things I've found and seen and heard.
I will be right back.
And he nods, his massive horns just, which probably with his horns, probably about as tall as you are. But then to make eye contact, he's like way down there. But he sits back down. Every time he goes to sip from his stew bowl, he almost pokes an eye out of somebody. But
it's like 3 feet of horn.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. But he's the captain, you know? He's gotta...
He's the captain.
You know, the bigger the better, as they say.
No wonder I could fit on the boat, huh? And I will, after having that conversation, as I walk back over, and I just kind of have the conversation as everybody's kind of running around doing their stuff. Like, I have the conversation individually, or if I catch one or two of us in the same spot, I'll have the conversation quickly with them. Like, hey, Captain Scython's offering to get us some kegs over here if we want, but
I will carry.
And I told them, and I'll tell them, like I told them, you know, I'll ask the group, because I know how things can get when people get a little too drunk. So
might as well.
Fair enough.
Make it a party.
Drunk.
You know what? Maybe it'll raise their spirits. That probably would do some good.
We can make sure it's too rowdy.
I would not want us to have end up accidentally turning what is supposed to be a hospitable gesture to the people of East Haven into a guardsman breaking up the largest bar fight they've probably ever seen.
So, well, I mean, isn't that more on? It's more on them, right? I mean, it's their fault if they're going to get that drunk. Then I mean,
I remember the Great Soup Riots.
You know what, Norm? Let's go help Captain Scython.
Yes.
We'll go bring some additional drinks. And I guess I will lead Norm over to Captain Scython and tell him that we have... Sure, yes, we will help you bring some ale over. Kind of pass that out as well.
And he walks you over to the Wet Trout, a tavern at the other end of the coastline of Lockton here in East Haven. He goes up to this white dragonborn who owns the place, gives a little wink and a little like, yeah, I'm cashing in that favor. And eventually...
I whisper over to Gil and say, God, he's got to have a huge penis.
It's all in the horns.
It might all be in the horns, who knows? But then again, it's all about quality, not quantity.
Damn, you think? Wait a minute.
What's that they say about the size of the ship?
Yeah, it's the motion of the ocean.
Motion of the ocean.
Stride of the tide.
I don't know. I hear it's kind of a little bit of both.
A little bit of
depending on-
both. It's not about the length of the ship, more about the width. How many people can it seat? What's the cargo hold? Yeah. But
How much water does it displace?
how much water does it displace? But he essentially, with maybe a trip or two, plenty enough kegs for everybody. And again, it kind of... people start circling back and coming in a second time, and this time they're like, I just want to get some beer now. Then a wristband system starts, and it turns into a whole ordeal.
Who do you know here?
Yeah, who do you know here? Have you paid the cover charge yet?
Yeah, you have to put on this wristband to signify that you are not 21.
You're not 21, and we'll give you free
If you
soda.
get caught by the authorities,
TV.
we have no liability.
If you're not seeing
but-
the band, you gotta go downstairs.
But eventually, two folks sit
Good
up
reference.
at the bar. Not necessarily waiting for food, not necessarily waiting for drinks. You see sort of a middle-aged man, black, dark beard, hair, kind of sort of well-trimmed, but still a little kind of wild, pale skin, sunken eyes, accompanied by a fairly young woman, sort of darker skin, darker hair, cut very short, and they both sit down at the bar, and Gil, as you, and Louis as well, because he's native to 10 Towns, as you were moving back and forth, you can recognize by his garb and the heraldry on it, and his general disposition, that this is the town speaker Waylon, the man that you've heard so much about and have wanted to speak with. He has come and sat down at the bar, and as people are walking back and forth, they'll eventually sort of grab one of the serving folk and say, like, yeah, can I speak with the operators of this? Thank you. And eventually that word gets back to all of you, and if all of you want to, you can, but also whoever wants to take the time to go speak to the town speaker, you're more than welcome to. Kind of leave it up to you guys that he wants to generally speak with you all in some way.
I'll come up with some beer.
Are we still in the midst of a dinner rush, so to say?
It basically never ends. But
Incredible.
you can kind of trade off, and I mean, at this point, you've earned enough of a reputation that you can be like, hey, Bardaban, hey, Ronaldo, can you come stir this stew for a little while? Just for a few minutes. So it's up to you guys, if anyone particularly wants to speak with the town speaker.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I understand this right. This is the leader of the town.
The leader of the
Yes.
town just came and sat at the bar with apparently his sort of a assistant or secretary or someone, and has just requested to speak to any of you guys.
Oh, I have some words.
I want to go do some damage mitigation. I'll go too.
Damage mitigation.
Oh my lord.
I'll pull Ronaldo in the kitchen with me, and just like I'm wearing like a comically too small apron, and I'll just kind of push another one into his chest. I'll go, all right, Buttercup, you're up.
Buttercup.
I like to think you also have like a chef's hat on.
That's a little
Yeah.
too small.
Your slightly too small apron does say "kiss the cook." And
Yeah,
it's
it
a little
says
bit.
kiss the
Yeah,
cook, but
I
it's
can't
spelled
read
wrong.
You can't read it. So it sounds like all of you want to speak with the town speaker.
It says like kiss the cock.
I
Kiss
would,
the
I would like to hear what he has to
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Kiss
Did you like Kiss the Dog?
I don't know why I like that. That was good. That's so stupid.
Thanks, it's my specialty.
Yeah, so you all stop whatever jobs you are doing for just a moment. You know, you maybe ask like, "Hey, Scython, will you do us a favor and just bring out some soup?" "Hey, Ronaldo. Hey, Bardaman. What's the other guy's name?
Hey, white lady.
Yeah, hey,
White Lady. The
Can
other,
you like hover some bowls?
Yeah.
Captain Scython will lend a hand.
basically just delegating for just a few minutes so you can have a moment with the speaker who apparently wanted to speak with you. And as you all kind of approach, he takes a moment, looks at you all. "Well, I'm glad we could finally meet. I'm Town Speaker Waylon, and I've heard you were some adventurers, mercenaries who've moved into town and are working hard."
It's nice that you could clear your very busy schedule to meet with us.
Yeah, we're mostly doing this because we had the possibility of doing so, and hopefully to see if we can mitigate maybe the possibility of, murdering townsfolk
Do you like soup?
through sacrifice.
Taking a sip of beer. The comments of murdering people. "You like soup?" Sacrifices. He just. Well, yes, my other secretary, and he turns over to the clerk that's sitting next to him, and let me pull up her name. I actually have it in my notes here, not in the book. He says,
I'll head back and get him some soup.
he gestures to this young lady next to him and says, "This is Prudence, sort of my primary clerk. I heard you spoke to my other clerk, Ron."
Yeah, we unnecessarily grilled her a little bit, but I understand that you're mostly the one in charge.
And
of
I understand your concern. I appreciate your concern. To be frank, Captain Arlagath and I have talked about it as well. It's your concern about our sacrifices to Arl, or I understand. They're not pretty. It doesn't seem right. It was sort of a decision made a while back. All of us speakers wanted to make sacrifices to appease our god.
And you chose people.
At the time, we had nothing else to give. If we sacrificed food, more people would die. If we sacrificed cold, more people would die.
So you just decided to go straight to the source. Interesting.
And I'm assuming
What
your
else
name
can
is
we
on the
give?
list.
I would love a suggestion. What else can we give? What do we have?
I don't know. Maybe
Timeshares.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't see how sacrificing anything has really changed anything for any of these towns that I've come.
Do you
across
believe
so
in a
far.
god?
Do I believe in a god?
Yes.
I mean, there are definitely gods in this world. I can tell you that much.
But do you believe in them? Do you have faith in them?
do I have faith in them?
Do
I
you
mean,
worship?
I believe they do stuff.
Do you
I
pray?
don't worship nobody. No,
I'm the holy man of this group.
that is true.
What
We
kind
only
of
have one
prayers
God.
and worship and sacrifice do you make for your god?
Well, thankfully, my god doesn't require me to sacrifice.
Who is your
people, so-
god, actually?
The moon. Any other question? Didn't think
The
so.
whole
Now,
moon?
Let's get back to you.
Wait, the whole moon?
Like an avatar?
He's deflecting.
Salune?
Were you married to this bitch?
Or Darkside Shar? That's her name?
Don't worry about it. Don't try to change the conversation. We're focusing on you now, and the reason why you're sacrificing
The
towns.
moon?
Yes. How many other times do you have to say it? The moon.
I don't understand. The moon is an entity. So I assume you worship Salune. That's what you are meeting?
Make whatever assumptions that you want.
That's not... I'm not assuming. That's a question. As in, if you say, I worship winter, that means you worship Auril. She is the god of winter. If you worship the moon, you worship
Speaker
Salune.
Waylon, what is your plan to stop sacrificing people and to actually bring your town out of its dreaded state?
Well, we're trying to bring
To
about
do what? What are you trying?
fish more, bring in more food to make food sacrifices, but the lake keeps freezing.
Okay, so what are you doing to unthaw it?
We are making
are
our
you
own
doing as the leader of
sacrifices
this
to
town?
our god, Auril the Frostmaiden. She needs some kind of devotion, sacrifices, something it is hard to give up, but we have to be willing to make that sacrifices for her to have some kind of mercy on us.
Here's a question: where did that idea come from? Did Arl themselves tell you this?
I assume she probably told her many acolytes thousands of years ago. And
This
those
is based off
teachings
an
have
assumption.
resonated in priests and other acolytes for centuries since.
So you don't know.
So you don't know who you worship besides the moon.
Again,
I
with
think-
the deflecting.
I think he actually does talk to his god. Do you talk to Arl?
We pray, we make our
Does
sacrifices.
Arl talk back to you, other than freeze your lake?
He points back to Wynn and says, does your god talk to you?
Again, what is up with the deflecting? Can you
I
not
need
answer
to
a
know.
question?
I need to know if you understand the idea of faith. That doesn't require constant communication. That requires having a love for your God, a faith in your God that they will do what is right for you. Because
Has,
you provide love and sacrifice and faith in what they do.
Well, how
Have
much?
you
Well,
been-
how far has your faith gotten you, good sir?
We're all
Because it
still
looks
alive.
like that there's
Not
all of
everyone.
you? I love that we say that at the same
So
time.
that is our faith. If one person gives their lives, then we all get to live. If that didn't happen, we would all be dead by now.
How
I
about
feel like we're gonna
how about
all be
you
dead in a
can
matter of months.
let's ask a very important question. Ask all the dead people if faith means anything to them.
I'm back. You want your soup?
Yes, please. If they really,
And I got some for your
if they did
assistant,
not
too. What's
like
her name?
it, they can move. There are other towns for them to go to.
But y'all even have people who just come here.
If they are
Signed up
staying
for the
for any
sacrifice.
extended amount of time.
I feel like
If you are
faith
going to
should
feed
give
off
back
of
to
our
you.
resources, then we have to consider you part of the town.
We have given more than Arl has given to you. Arl has frozen your lake.
So
Arl
you are
has
better
taken
than
away
the
your food.
gods?
Huh?
How do you... So, can I pose one more thing to you? What if the reason you all are here is because of the god of winter? Her will brought you here. You are helping us because of our sacrifices.
I don't
she
think she'd
has
be
brought
happy to have-
this help
I
to
don't-
us.
I don't think that she would be happy with us trying to kill her. I'm gonna be honest.
You're
Yeah,
trying
we're going
to...
to kill your god.
She is a god. You cannot do that.
Have you
Oh.
tried?
Have you?
We're about
Honestly,
to.
you have it. Your first solution is to just sacrifice people.
It is understandable, however, that you think that even if you've outnumbered her, you couldn't try. I understand. Rebellion's hard, but I do
Heathens.
wonder. We have to.
Take his soup away.
Gods help you.
But I just
Yeah.
brought it over.
If you've heard anything from other places, gods have helped other people. They do not hurt you. That is a false god.
So, explain to me gods of war.
Mhm.
Kratos?
Explain to me the God of War franchise. I don't understand the plot at all.
Me either.
You see, Kratos, he had a family, and then Ares made him go crazy, and he killed
Yeah.
his family.
It's
What
not
is a
Kingdom
boy?
Hearts. I don't know what you're asking about. Like this is
Well, you see, a long time ago, there were all these Keyblade wielders.
Here's the thing, Wayland. You asked to explain gods of war. Some gods are just cruel. Some gods do not love the people that worship them. Some gods do not care. Some gods will happily take your sacrifices and punish you anyway, because some gods are evil, just like some people are evil. I understand. I understand knowing only one way. I understand that there is something that has always been a part of your life, a part of your culture, a part of your people's culture since long before you or your parents or their parents were ever born. I come from a society that is like that. My people know one way. They've always known one way. But if there's anything that I have learned traveling through 10 towns away from my home, things can be different. Your faith is powerful to you.
Your faith is powerful to your people. But it has been 2 years, Wayland. And the sacrifices of all 10 towns have made no difference. The winter only gets worse. The lake continues to freeze. Sacrificing food and heat and people is not making it any easier. At this point, you're practically throwing people's lives away at a god that does not care about you or your people anymore, if they ever did before. Perhaps you really are just at this point worshipping the wrong god. Because it seems to me that Oral is nothing but cruel. Because that is all your people have seen is cruelty from Oral and her everlasting winter, her everlasting night, and the aurora. My people have suffered under Oral's cruelty. Your people have suffered under Oral's cruelty. My people have suffered under our unchanging ways because we are too small-minded to see that there is more to this, more to life, more to our society than simply being what we have always been. Holding on to these traditions is getting your people killed. You are sacrificing them. And as much as I hate to admit this, it is understandable. You have a faith. You have a belief. I was like that once. I saw that there was a different path. And I'm following that different path as best as I can. And I'd like to think that it has made me a better man. And I'd like to think that it has made the lives of people that I have impacted on my travels better as well. Because I have turned away from the close-minded, isolationist, xenophobic ideas of my home. Look at what you are having to do. Look at what you are being forced to do by a faith.
At this point, he
that is
holds
not
up
returning.
a hand and says, I understand. But fortunately, it's not as easy as it sounds. With the other towns and their current sacrifices, if we suddenly stop, change what we're doing, then a civil war is like to erupt. I need to meet with the Council of Speakers. We need to discuss it and make these changes. But there are other towns doing this as well. And if their minds aren't changed, then it's all for nothing. And then if I go in and change all on my own, if I make this decree to save my own people, if they visit another town, if other people come in here and they realize that this town has betrayed Oral, or whatever rumors might spread, then their lives are still in danger. And 10 towns becomes 9 towns, 8 towns, 7 towns, and then it all falls apart. So I understand your concern. It's just not as easy as it sounds.
One man's conviction can change the world. Look at Tritstort.
How many speakers' minds would have to change for you to be willing to change your mind?
There are 3 of us who sacrifice our townsfolk. And originally, when we started doing that, it was because there was nothing else to give. We thought that putting out fires for the night risked too many lives, giving up food risked too many lives. So I built... If you're trying to outdo sacrifices entirely, it could be half the council. But if you're trying to just stop sacrificing your own people, it's honestly a matter of both faith and resources.
What have you all sacrificed before?
Health and food.
Food and warmth. People.
I have a question. Why don't you just merge towns? If you don't have enough resources in this town anymore, you can merge towns. Come partner up with some other towns and become one place. And then once you do get the resources, if you want to explore becoming another town again on your own, then sure, do that. But as of now, you're sacrificing people. You don't have enough resources. When you're at the point where you're sacrificing people, you've already lost. So why don't you just partner with another town? Merge with them.
Kind of looks over his shoulder. At this point, the entire freaking inn has fallen silent. It's turned into now like a town hall with you guys on one side of the bar, the town speaker and his secretary sitting across from you at the bar stools, and then the town in the dining room behind him, all watching and listening intently. Kind of looks over his shoulder. I don't think I'm wrong in saying this, in that most people that come to Icewind Dale are here for themselves. It would take a lot of convincing to ensure that people will rightly help one another.
Can I talk to the people?
Sure.
Please do.
I go and say, hey people. Do you like your traditions?
There's a lot of like handshaking, just like shrugging.
Do you want change? Or no?
They shake their head. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you satisfied with your town's leadership?
This joke.
What kind of change do you want to see?
There's a couple people assholes that yell out that the town needs another bar, the town needs a brothel. I wish I got paid more. It's too fucking cold. But it immediately gives you the impression that the majority of the town only cares about if their situation's good enough. It's very self-oriented because so many people, like some in your party, they escape to Icewind Dale. They're used to fending for themselves and being on their own and looking out for themselves. So very few people have anything actually constructive to say about traditions and religion and things like that.
Is there anyone in the crowd that seems like they want to put in some input but aren't willing to speak?
Scython does.
Speak.
He stands up and he says, well, I'm gonna be honest, most of these folks around here are my drinking buddies. The wet trout is kind of our stomping grounds, but as a follower of Arl myself, in what I've experienced and what I've read, God's power is determined by the following they have. And honestly, I just think that not enough people are worshiping Arl. If more people devoted themselves to her faith, then we would be fine. She's too weak right now. There's not enough people following in her path. We live in the north, for God's sakes. We should be worshiping the snow and the wind and the ice. This is just a test from her. So, that's just my piece. That's just my piece. And he sits back down and just...
With respect, Captain Scython, do you think a weak god could blot out the sun of an entire land?
He says, there are, gods who control life, death. This fellow worships the moon. Who's to say?
How many of you guys agree with the big horned man?
Maybe about 25 or so % of the people in the inn kind of raise their hand. maybe even a little bit more.
My friends, can we talk for a moment? And I kind of gesture to us, our party.
Oh yeah, we huddle.
I
we
thought you
huddle
meant
up.
you were gonna talk to the townsfolk, and the way you said
No.
like, "Can we talk?" I thought you were gonna turn a chair backwards and sit down in it and be like, "Listen, everybody."
It's like
Alright,
like
hey, Mom
youth
and
pastor
Dad,
moment.
Can we
Yeah.
jam on something?
Gil is suddenly wearing chacos and cargo shorts.
Oh my god, no.
Wait,
never.
no, we said you were a booty shorts kind of guy, right?
When did we
I-
say that?
Probably during the session where we were in pajamas.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's just booty shorts that just say thick across the ass.
Yep.
Nice.
People just immediately, kind of pull your party off to the side. People start tending to their soup and whispering, mumbling to one another. You see that the town speaker, he's sitting there very politely and just kind of waiting, but you can see that, like, actually, this will be interesting. Make an insight check, whoever would be interested in the town speaker's disposition.
Definitely.
22.
Ooh, Xavier. Ooh.
20.
I don't
30,
like
20,
this guy.
30, 20 on insight.
2.
So basically for Austin, Xavier, Alan, man, he's a nice guy. It's a strange thing of where, you probably fundamentally disagree with what's going on, period. Like, you don't like it. You can tell there's not bad intentions behind it. It's wholly good, trying to do the best that he can do. And that's generally the reputation that this town speaker has for Gil. Gil, you would know that he is generally a well-respected, well-liked town speaker who people like what he does. But that's still, on top of we sacrifice people once a month. But in his current disposition, you can tell he's kind of on the ropes. He understands what you're saying, and you've kind of proven yourself in the fact that you have fed his entire town a single meal, and that you have gone out of your way to check on people of the town. So you've definitely earned his respect and his attention. It's just, there's basically all the political bullshit that's in the background that he is sort of like standing in front of, like, I don't want to unleash this. I don't want to break down this dam, because once we start, it could be bad. So you can tell that he understands. He's on the ropes, but he's still trying to, like, he wants to see actions. He wants to see, like, steps as to what to do.
Okay.
I wanna talk to everybody.
Wait.
Not
Yeah,
everybody.
you're in a huddle in the kitchen. Ronaldo and Bardaban are over there stirring the stew.
Yeah, I was
his
watching
guitar.
through the little like serving window that whole time. And I like usher everybody in.
As you're about to walk in, you see Ronaldo stirring the stew, and he goes, sneezes into the stew.
I give him a
Don't
look
do that.
I give him a look like,
Come on.
So,
Just
listen,
do a rolling boil again.
yeah, I turn up the fire.
Burn out the germs. Burn out the germs.
Hey guys, alright, so idea.
Kill
if we
Speaker
built-
Waylon.
Wait.
What?
No.
Who said
What
that?
if wait.
Okay, plan B.
What if we built a
I think
church?
we should move that to like plan like Z.
You want to build a church?
what if-
I ain't
I-
wow,
listen.
What if we built a
lot of
church?
letters, aren't there?
What if we built a church?
What if we built a church?
to
The moon?
To who did they say? The winter person?
Arl.
Arl?
Arl.
I don't know
Why-
about that.
why would we
they
do
would just
that?
sacrifice people there.
Listen, I have an idea. And I know we have discussed it before,
Mhm.
but I'm getting the impression that if we travel around with this cauldron, it's going to be too little to help. The amount of effort that we had to do to feed the whole town, and there are towns bigger than this one. He mentioned that they tried the other things, that they did not have the resources, did not have the food, did not have the heat. if we could give them a way to have the food, we can convince them to stop sacrificing people.
But it's valuable for us as well. Like, yeah, we could possibly stop.
It is, to be fair, you're right, it is valuable to us. But I firmly believe that us traveling around the cauldron is going to be too little to make any amount of difference all over the place.
Yes, but
it might be enough for us to make a difference enough a difference to at least stop what's happening here.
This, I think, to put it into more of like a grander sense, fixing one town is not going to fix the overarching problem of Icewind Dale. I think that what we discussed previously about going to the different towns and helping them with their various problems might be a better way to get them to give up these long-seated traditions of murder for the sake of appeasing some god that probably cares very little what they're doing to begin with. I think that we should just we should move on soon, go to a different town and see what kind of problems they have besides the obvious, like we did with the fishermen. And
I was gonna say, like, didn't he also say, like, the sacrifices are ultimately influenced by, like, the collective 10 towns decisions?
Yeah.
So, like, even if he wanted to, like, overzealously change things, he still probably couldn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't stop the sacrificing entirely, is what he was saying. But if he had the resources, he could change it.
He could change it here. And also, to that point, I mean, Ventus and Gil, you're basically saying the same thing. Ventus, you're saying go to the various towns and solve their issues. Gil is trying to solve the issue of this one various town, which is they're sacrificing and they don't have enough food. We can solve the issue at this town, give them the cauldron, go to the next town, figure out whatever it is, whatever weird thing they're into. And
well, what I was saying is that giving them the food is going to be like placing a band-aid on a wound, not a band-aid, a bandage on a wound that is too small. Like, it's not going to prevent an infection or something. It's the overarching problem is bigger than just not having food. There are other towns that need food.
Yes, I think the overarching problem is Aurel, and we're gonna get to her.
Yes, and that's the thing is I think that we shouldn't leave the cauldron here. We should take it because we're going to need it to feed another town. And I also, unfortunately, I feel like if the cauldron, if we reveal its true nature, could be something of it could start some kind of reaction where people would try to steal it, and other towns may try to take it from them. That was my reasoning for not revealing it before. It seems that, as we saw when we were asking people earlier, people are very set on themselves here, and who's to say another town might want to take it from them.
How many of us signed up for the lottery?
Only like 2 of you, I think.
I did.
I did not.
Yeah, I think it was only like Norm and Ventus. And Jacob, Ventus is the smart boy. And so I'll give this to the smart boy, as far as analysis is concerned, and 10 towns frequenters or natives, so people like Casimir, Louis, Gil. The amount of food sacrifices for a town is typically sort of a day's worth of catch as far as trout goes. So on a good day, you know, assuming 1 trout every other hour times however many fishers there are, so, you know, maybe a few dozen, each trout weighs 50 to 70 pounds. That's so many poundage of food that is being sacrificed. And so, in relation, you are serving a lot of people, and assuming each person eats about a pound or so of food at their meal, that's still a lot of meals to equate a single food sacrifice once a month. So even if you do go to each town with your food thing, I mean, as you've seen in East Haven, you've put on this whole, food event for people. It hasn't fixed the problem. It's just giving you, like, a little foot in the door kind of situation. But it would take you a month to fully produce enough food to equate a sacrifice.
Yeah.
So there's kind of it basically, yeah, it's either keeping the cauldron gives you a foot in the door at each town, or giving over the cauldron fixes East Haven.
I feel like fixing an entire town is a big feat. Well,
I feel like this is something we can decide over a week.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me either way. I'm not like going to be upset if we leave the cauldron here. I just thought that we could hold on to it and share the wealth to the other towns essentially. But if we decide to leave it here, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I understand the mentality of fixing what we can. I just don't want this to
Come
because
back
of
to hurt them.
yes.
In faith wise,
I
I ain't been paying much attention for the last little bit, but in faith wise, I'm gonna be honest. Is it really a sacrifice if you're just giving away food from a cauldron that produces enough food for the sacrifice? I mean, I get it, but like, you're basically just saying I sacrifice nothing because some random folks give me the food. I mean, yeah, we're giving them cauldron, but like, in theory, sure, but if I were God, I'd be like, whatever. This seems kind of dumb.
Louis as a god.
Terrified.
What a thought.
I would just be Slanesh from.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we can think about it because it doesn't really. I guess it doesn't really matter super much anyway. I thought it'd be good to hold on to it so we could use that as a foot in the door in other places.
Is the rest of the town still watching us as we're?
I
here?
assume you went to
we're
the
in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Yeah.
We're in the
Oh,
kitchen.
okay. Are they still quiet?
They've started mumbling and talking amongst themselves.
Okay.
Travis as a person is falling asleep, so.
Yeah, we're
I'll tell
as long as
Ronaldo to play loud music.
he's stirring the stew right now.
Yodel.
But what it sounds like is that you don't have an answer, so you're going to tell the townspeaker such a thing, and that you would like to speak with him later. Is that what I'm getting? As Lou would say, what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yes.
Xavier?
Xavier says, I have
Yeah,
an
that
answer.
sounded like a.
It's fine for now.
Okay. And the speaker will say as such. He will say, "Yep, I completely understand. I thank you for what you've done, and Captain Arligath will be here soon. You mentioned some kind of reward.
How was
of course,
the soup?
it was actually very delicious. That oregano in there?
It's made from people.
I don't
It's-
know.
I'm kidding. That would be crazy.
Everyone awkwardly laughs.
Insight check. Who here has eaten flesh?
Nope. But he will say to come by the town hall, speak with his clerks, and we'll find time to continue this discussion. But nevertheless, he still thanks you for everything. Yes, Austin, I see your.
Do have a question for him, and I think at this point Gil would have an idea at least of what most towns do for their sacrifices since he's traveled around, but he's going to ask it out loud anyway. What other towns make sacrifices of people?
He informs you that the town of Bryn Shander, which is actually the town you started in, and Targos also hold human sacrifice lotteries.
I already have that in my notes somewhere, possibly, but it's okay. But
Okay. Any final things as dinner comes to a close, the town speaker goes home? Any other final thoughts to impart?
Is she gonna bring me that scroll?
Yes, she's gonna bring you that scroll.
What was it a scroll of again?
I just wanted to make sure, as far as role playing goes, we can wrap up as in that regard.
We can wrap up, but I will say, Win is very upset, and he's gonna go to his room and pray.
incredible.
Okay, Xavier, I'll ask, do you want to do that right now, or do you want to
No, we can do
message
that
me?
later. We can do
Okay,
that
cool.
Dear Jesus, please kill that man.
What is
Give
what
me-
is the here I lay me down to here I lay me down
Here I lay me down to sleep. Please
Pray
kick
on
that
Pray the
God.
Lord
man's
my soul
ass.
to keep. And
So
if I die before I wake, oh God, I don't.
If I die before I wake,
Pray my
I
Lord, my
pray the Lord
soul.
of the soul.
pray my Lord.
baby,
Sword
don't say
sake.
a
Wow.
word.
I didn't realize that since a
How
very young
fucking
age,
fucked
I
up.
was being instilled with fear of going to sleep, or else I'll die.
Jesus.
Wow. Okay.
Wait, that's you don't feel that too? Me neither.
JK. So with that, the dinner wraps up because you managed to feed everyone and keep everyone basically normal and sane. Nice, good reputation. Now you can go act on your own accord throughout the town, eventually meet with the town speaker and at whatever time you wish. And as the days go on, a little bit of reputation might pass on to some of the other town people and other towns. As you travel about, they'll hear of your exploits here and probably expect a dinner. And of course, eventually Captain Arlegath will come by. And she's already bestowed you with the bag of tricks.
Who has that anyway?
I don't think
I
anyone...
have the bag of tricks.
Oh, you took it.
Okay.
What color was it?
I don't know, Logan. What
Didn't actually
I was
give us a
thinking it was
color.
gray. I should know if you had wrote it down. It is a gray bag of tricks.
Cool.
And then finally, yes, she will bring by the spell scroll, which I assume Ventus takes, and I will send you that information and a little bit of lore actually about it. There's some little writers on that spell scroll that I want to send you.
Ooh, that's nifty.
But day comes to a close. People go home with full bellies, nice and warm, and then we'll back up next time. And I'll probably message you guys a little bit between now and then, just kind of get an idea of like where you might want to go, what you're going to be doing, because otherwise,
Where did the white lady say that?
At the
the
bottom of the
castle?
lake, which is many miles across and very deep.
No. The where we asked her about like where we would need to go next.
Castle in Caer Dineval.
Oh, you mean the ghost white lady, not the fake white
Yes.
lady is the
Yeah. I don't care about her.
Oh,
She's dead.
White lady.
Rest in peace, white lady. Yes,
White
she
lady.
said a castle in Caer
She was problematic. It's
Dineval?
I think it was Dineval.
One of the Caers. Caer Dineval, there's a castle that became the home of a devil-worshipping cult. Whatever that
That sounds
means.
fun. We should go there.
Sounds promising.
And then also, as a note, because of the nature of the session zeros, each of you has kind of collected a handful of rumors and quest things throughout your time. So you can also consider those. We can decide to talk about that a little bit off screen, just so that way we can prep accordingly.
Still have the two.
Yeah. There's a thing in here where it's like, hey, if the party talks to Scython, he can also give them rumors. Roll 3 times on this table. I'm like, they've got enough. They're fine. They've got enough going on.
We have a lot of unfinished
We've
business.
got a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
So, with that, thank you for everyone who stopped by and watched. Thank you for Emily for hanging out. Thank you for Ian for stopping by in the very beginning. And who else I missed? Thank you for Hannah Laura for stopping by. I still call you Hannelore, even though your username is Horus. I don't even know what to call you anymore. I feel like I don't know you anymore.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks to all you beautiful people who watch the
Fuck
VOD.
are you?
And thanks to all you ugly people that
Are-
watch the VOD.
Wait, yeah, what's that gif of the kid who turns around and says, "Wait,
Who are you?
are you?" But
Yeah,
yes.
thanks to the beautiful people who watch the VOD. Thanks to the ugly people.
Oh,
who
you're
watch
still
the
here.
VOD.
Thanks for still hanging out.
You know who you are.
Yeah, who the fuck are you? I just remember that you do all sorts of crazy computer stuff and coding stuff that goes way over my head. It makes me feel like an idiot.
Nice.
Every time I'm like, "Hey, Hannelore, what's up?" And I was like, "I'm doing this crazy coding project where I make a robot swim across the entire Atlantic Ocean in one go." I'm like,
She does that all the time.
"Yeah, okay."
In one go.
There's so many robots that died in the ocean.
I
They
do the
can't swim.
compute. Yes, thank you for specifically the Atlantic Pacific. No, that's a whole other project.
Yeah. One of those fucking terrifying Boston Dynamics videos. It's hidden like Mach 10, fucking vaporizing fish within a like 30-foot radius.
Yep,
Oh,
that's exactly what it feels like.
What about like Better Off Ted? You know.
Jesus.
Anyway.
Yes, but thank you everyone for hanging out. This video will be up on YouTube, and I gonna have to check, but just if you're interested in watching our Shadows Over Drift Chapel campaign, we're coming down to the wire as far as our final sessions go. It's really coming up. So if you're really interested in watching how this campaign unfolds and the kind of eldritch horrors that the party fights against, turn on your notifications. We usually play on Fridays. So go ahead and tune in for that, and it's gonna be so good. They finally got the long rest in, so they got all their rages and stuff back.
Nice.
And then theoretically, we will be. I think we're gonna have to double check our scheduling stuff, but we will be right back here in the Dale after tomorrow, and then whatever horrible thing,
Dale,
guys, you
yeah.
say. Yep. Mm-hmm.
raise hell.
Do it for the
Raise
Dale.
Dale.
Come back
I'm going
next
to
week,
incite a
Jared.
holy war.
And you're right to do so.
I like that win is either at the end of like, I'm gonna make a soup kitchen that earns profit, or I'm going to start a holy war on this entire region. No in between.
No
Wind
in between.
dictates multitudes, and Casimir will die for him.
I love it. All right, everyone. So we will see you the day after tomorrow.
Hell yeah.